Thelma Dean Kingery Cunningham, age 82, of Tompkinsville, died Sunday at Signature Healthcare of Monroe County. Thelma was born in 1940, a daughter of the late Winnie and William Lawrence Kingery. She is survived by a daughter, Dawn Dale of Salina, 4 grandchildren, Samantha and Scotty McLaren, Garrett Franklin, and Trey Cunningham, 2 great-grandchildren, Mally and Sadie Beth McLaren. Thelma was also survived by 2 sisters, Margie Estes of Indiana and Carol Walden of Tompkinsville. The service for Thelma Cunningham will be at 1 o'clock Wednesday at the Oakley Tribble Funeral Home, burial in the White Cemetery. Visitation begins at 5 o'clock on Tuesday afternoon and continues Wednesday until the funeral hour at Oakley Tribble Funeral Home. Hope Elizabeth Jones Davis, age 26, of Upton, died Wednesday, September the 21st. She was a home health nursing assistant. She is the daughter of Mark Jones and Veronica Hawkins. She is survived by a daughter, Lilith Eden Davis, 2 sons, Benson Kane Davis and Simon Vincent Davis. Her maternal grandmothers, Kathy Mae Marshall of Florida and Janice Marshall of West Virginia. Her sister, Jessica Jones of Glasgow. Brothers, Randy Hawkins of Cub Run, Damian Jones of Indiana, Jareth Jones of Indiana, and Corey Jones of Somerset, David Jones of Hodgenville, and adopted sister, Catherine Hawkins. Her aunts, Monica Marshall Chandler of Virginia, Erica Thomas of Florida, and cousins Nicholas Chamberlain of Indiana, Samantha White of Virginia, Robert Marshall of Indiana, and several nieces, nephews, and many friends. A memorial service for Hope Davis will be at 1 o'clock Saturday, October the 8th at the Brooks Funeral Home. Visitation begins at 10 o'clock Saturday morning at the funeral home in lieu of flowers. Memorial contributions can be made to the Brooks Funeral Home. Ralph Wendell Bell, age 78, of Hardyville, died Friday. He was a member of the Cave City Christian Church and a former member and deacon of the Glenview Christian Church. He was the owner of Pascal Feed Mill, a lifelong farmer, and was retired from Dart Container. He was a wonderful husband, father, grandfather, and great-grandfather. He is survived by his wife of 61.5 years, Charlotte Reese Bell. Also 1 daughter, Linda White, and husband Gary of Ohio. 2 sons, Wendell Bell and wife Shannon of Glasgow, Michael Bell and wife Leanne of Hardyville. 5 grandchildren, Reese White, Megan Nave, Savannah Trainer, Mackenzie Bell, and Christopher Bell. 1 great-granddaughter, Sif Nave, and a brother, Rodney Bell, and wife Wanda of Canmer. 1 sister-in-law, Betty Reese of Glasgow, and several nieces and nephews. The funeral service for Ralph Bell will be at 1 o'clock Wednesday at the Brooks Funeral Home. Burial to follow in the Horse Cave Municipal Cemetery. Visitation begins at 4 p.m. on Tuesday afternoon at Brooks Funeral Home. Pamela Joan Sterrett, age 66, of Albany, died Thursday at Bowling Green Medical Center. She was of the United Brethren Church faith and attended Chestnut Grove Community Church. Her favorite hobby was knitting, and she loved making placemats of various sizes. She became a good cook, and she learned to be a farmer. She loved all of her goats, dogs, and Jersey cows, but not the tractors, as she became a caregiver for her father when he had gotten cancer, and she also cared for her mother. She was a teacher for her grandson, Lewis, until he graduated. She is survived by her mother, Mary Ann Scripter, husband Larry Sterrett, children Jared Sterrett, Craig Sterrett, sibling Perry Scripter, grandchildren Sidney, Todd, Lewis, and Carter, along with a host of other family and friends. The service for Pamela Sterrett will be tomorrow at 5 at Chestnut Grove Community Church in Burkesville. Visitation begins at 4 o'clock Tuesday afternoon until the funeral hour. Burial will be in Indiana. Services for Herman Roten, 83, will be conducted at 2 o'clock tomorrow at the Bartley & Sons Funeral Home in Tompkinsville. Burial to follow in the Moore Cemetery in Moss, Tennessee. Visitation begins at 11 o'clock today at the funeral home. Services for John Larry DeVore, age 77, of Edmonton, will be today at 1 o'clock at McMurtry Funeral Home. Burial to follow in the Pleasant Hill Cemetery in Metcalfe County. Services for Rodney Wayne Bewley, age 60, will be held at 11 o'clock today at the Oakley Tribble Funeral Home in Tompkinsville. Burial will follow in the Hammer Cemetery. Visitation begins this morning at 8 a.m. at Oakley Tribble Funeral Home. Obituary information is available 24 hours a day free at WCLUradio.com. And on the WCLU app, no login is necessary.
When we lost Frank, we lost a good friend.
Father, husband, colleague, and coach. He meant a lot to all of us.
Today, we had a chance to tell him that.
When someone close to you passes on, you want to commemorate their life in a special way. That's why individual requests are such an important part of our funeral services. We strive to meet your specific needs for the most fitting service for your loved ones. A.F. Crow & Son Funeral Home, a celebration of love.
It's important to know you can send unique designs at a price you can afford when you send a design created by Jeff's Country Florist. And if you can't seem to find that one-of-a-kind unique gift, then come see us at Jeff's Country Florist. These great designs and gifts are available for local delivery or in-store pickup. Stop by and browse our showroom at 4911 Scottsville Road in Glasgow. We're open Monday through Friday, 9 till 5, Saturdays, 9 till noon. Let's talk. 270-678-3575. There's only one Jeff's Country Florist.
Weather from the WCLU Weather Center. Brought to you by Key Cleaners on Happy Valley Road in Glasgow.
Protect your investment in your clothes and your image by having your clothes professionally dry cleaned at Key Cleaners in Glasgow. The Catron family has years of experience in caring for the most delicate of garments, as well as drapes and sheers, spreads and comforters, with convenient hours of 6:45 to 5:30 Monday through Friday and Saturday 8 till 1. Key 1-hour cleaners, Happy Valley Road, Glasgow, where we accept Visa and MasterCard.
Good morning live, WCLU at 20 minutes before 7 o'clock. A nice day today, sunshine and 73. That's all she wrote. Nothing to worry about. Clear tonight with a low of 43. Another sunny day on Tuesday, a high of 73. Clear Tuesday night and 42. Whole lot of sun on Wednesday. We'll climb up a bit to 76 degrees. I mentioned last hour the only precipitation in Kentucky that we were able to, pick off of Hurricane Ian, 3/10 of an inch of rain way over in Pikeville, Kentucky. That's as far in as Ian penetrated the state of Kentucky. Barometers at 30.20 this morning, 95% humidity. Northeast winds at 3 miles an hour. As we are waking up, our feetsies are hitting the floor. We have a temperature reading of 50 degrees. Good morning live. Weather brought to you by Key Cleaners. 20 till 7. Let's get caught up on the Morning Ag Report.
The USDA says domestic wheat production this year totaled 1.65 million tons. Hello, I'm Kellen Havikin with the latest ag headline news on Brownfield. That's slightly higher than 2021, with reductions in planted area for all types of wheat canceled out by better yields. Winter wheat production in the southern and southwestern U.S. plains was impacted by drought or near-drought conditions, while spring wheat was affected by planting delays in parts of the northern U.S. plains. I'll have more news next.
Hello everyone, this is Joe and Rachel Dotson from Best One Tire in Glasgow.
We wanted to personally thank you for supporting our tire and repair business at 100 Shawn Lane.
Many of our customers come to us for ag and truck tire, but did you know we are capable of serving any size car or pickup?
With over 300 stores behind us, our buying power means we can pass on to you the very best pricing in our area.
We have many tires and tubes in stock, and we can do alignments on just about anything that rolls.
I was raised in Metcalfe County. After being away for a few years, Joe and I brought our family back to the area, and nothing brings us greater pleasure than servicing our neighbors when they are broke down in the field or on the road. We are here for you. We want to help you by taking the stress out of buying your next tires. We will work with any budget, anytime.
Come in and find out why we are the fastest growing tire company in Glasgow. We love this business. We love this town. Pretty soon you will be coming to our new store out on Highway 90 right here in Glasgow.
Best One Tire and Service, creating one raving fan at a time.
The USDA is now accepting applications for its $500 million grant program that aims to increase U.S. fertilizer production. Ag Secretary Tom Vilsack says he's hopeful independent suppliers will apply for grants under the new fertilizer production expansion program and not the dominant fertilizer companies. Executive Director of the Nebraska Corn Board, Kelly Brunkhorst, is encouraging farmers to stay connected and prioritize mental health this harvest season.
Mental fatigue is out there just from the year that we've had from the weather standpoint. And then I think just mental stress from the risk.
Visit brownfieldagnews.com for more resources. The USDA has revised its 2021 U.S. corn production lower while raising the total for soybeans. The department says corn production last year was at 15.1 billion bushels, a decrease of 41.4 million, with the average yield down fractionally. The new 2021 total for soybeans is 4.47 billion bushels, an increase of just over 30 million. I'm Kellen Havikin on Brownfield Ag News.
Let me ask you something, partner. What are you doing for lunch? Surely you can do better than one of those fast food places or something that comes out of a brown bag. Come on over to Colton Steakhouse and Grill. Lunch can be fun, tasty, affordable, and quick. Colton's has a special lunch menu. Steak, chicken, seafood, salad, sandwiches, and our Montana burger. Plus at lunch you get Colton's famous homemade yeast rolls. Now you got lunch plans. At Colton's, where we know what's at stake.
And it's always good, too. This morning's Ag Report from Brownfield brought to you by Best One Tire. It's good to have Best One Tire on your side in the field or on the road or wherever you need them. They're going to take care of you at Best One Tire. I got to get over here and take care of some birthday folks here. Everybody's up and in a good mood today. I can tell you about Rochelle Wright. Rochelle Wright is having a birthday. Rochelle, your mama called up to wish you a happy birthday. Just like Melissa White's mama called in to wish Melissa a happy 52nd birthday today. We also have the birthday of Mr. Pat Van, Miss Stephanie Spence, Anthony Walden, B.J. Hall with a birthday, Ann Hodges. We also have Brenda Wyatt Whitlow, Ruby Nunley, Dustin Bird, Justin Allen. What a list today on this Monday, October the 3rd. Room on the paper for more, 651-9149-800-956-1023 and online here at WCLUradio.com. We appreciate that. It is Brenda Wyatt Whitlow Day on the radio. It's her birthday. They said, hey, can we pat her on the back? Can we make it on her birthday? We were able to work that one out. So if you happen to see Brenda Wyatt Whitlow around today, do the same. Let her know she's good as gold from WCLU and a little taste of Texas. It's 6:45. Up next, the archives.
A message from the South Green Street Church of Christ.
As we continue to think about living without regret, I suggest to you today that you will most likely regret refusing to mend broken relationships. Why do you think it is that so many of us wait and wait and wait before we seek to fix a breach that's in a broken relationship? Friends, don't wait to say, I'm sorry. The funeral is too late. Jesus suggested in Matthew chapter 5, verses 23 and 24, that if you find a time where you are offering a gift on your altar and remember that your brother has something against you, leave your gift there at the altar and go be reconciled to your brother. You will regret refusing to mend broken relationships. This has been Bart Warren for the South Green Street Church of Christ.
Thank you, Bart. Good morning,
South
live.
Green Street Church of Christ, 306 South Green Street in Glasgow. 270-651-5409.
Coming up this weekend, don't forget it, get started on it. The annual Highway 1297 yard sale starts this Friday and continues on Saturday, running from 31 bypass in Glasgow to Highway 101 in Warren County. For information, contact Jonita Piper at 270-670-7309. And speaking of the weekend, the Cave City Fire Department's Haunted Woods at Jellystone Park starts Friday and goes through the 29th of October, 7 till 10 each Friday and Saturday night. Come on and enjoy some Haunted Woods. It's time for the archives, where we head them up and move them out in a backward fashion and look at the last century of the way we were and how we got here and what we were trying to do when we did so. So it's brought to you by Joseph A. Wade Industrial Hardware Services, because history is made by the hard work that stands the test of time. And we're going to join Sam Terry just in a sec.
When there's work to be done, you get to it. And Joseph A. Wade Incorporated is here to help. They repair and make hydraulic hoses and repair hydraulic cylinders. If there's a problem, the Joseph A. Wade hydraulic team will help you find a solution. They're also a distributor for Croyle products. Plus, black and orange nitrile gloves are back in stock. Locally owned and operated, Joseph A. Wade Incorporated. Here to help since 1985. Located in the curve of Industrial Drive in Glasgow.
We have Mr. Sam Terry, well-known historian and just a real likable guy here on the radio this morning to talk about all things archival. Sam, we are turning the page on the whole calendar. We are going to explore archives for the month of October. Are you ready to do that, sir?
Yes, sir.
And I have some information here we're going to begin to share about some coming events here for the Museum of the Barrens. We're going to be talking about the Harvest of History this week, which is going to come up October the 13th to the 15th. We'll tell you about some of the folks who are going to be participating in that. But we have the Community Ed Art Show that's going to be going on a whole month. And lots of local artists are participating in community education painting classes. They'll have their art on display during the month of October in the Christine Snavely Art Gallery, which is on the second floor of the Cultural Center. And a tribute to a very sweet lady. And so anyway, that's a whole lot coming up at the Cultural Center, a happening spot for sure. You ready to roll?
Yes, let's see what we've got.
Well, in 1922, this edition of the Glasgow Times, guess what? They were doing archives. That's right. So let me put this in perspective. The year is 1922. The Glasgow Times is looking back 52 years. They called it the Archives of Yesteryear, Sam. So they were talking about what was going on in 1870. Does that not give you a really interesting, clear shot back in 1870? The headlines here from the archives of 1870 read, "The boys were out in full force Friday night with fireworks, etc., making joy over the completion of the railroad. The first train ran out of here September the 26th of 1870.
Wow.
Interesting things there. We were getting a train in town there in 1870. And I'm not sure why only the boys were out celebrating, but I guess that's the way we celebrated on Friday nights, with the boys out shooting fireworks because of the train.
Well, certainly a day that changed everything in Glasgow, to have rail service coming in and out of our community.
No question about it. And this day also in the archives of 1870, during the fair next week, 2 passenger trains will actually run over the branch daily. So come to the fair. You can't get there? Yes, you can. The train is coming to Glasgow and can bring you to the fair. Also in the archives of 1870, quite a number of immigrant wagons have passed through here the past week, bound for the western prairie lands. That was a real wagon train moving westward there in 1870, as recalled in 1922. So you really got to see quite the picture of the pathway with those little quips in the Glasgow Times that was published in 1922. Way back when. 1932, the Republican talks about golfers to stage a stag dinner tonight. The golf club will be the scene of a stag dinner by its members at the clubhouse tonight, preceding the presentation of the trophies to be awarded as a result of the recent tournaments. Harry Norris and Clyde Breeding will make their debut as champions. Norris for the low score of 30 on 36 holes, and Breeding on 18 holes. Plans for the winter season will also be formulated. We apparently loved our golf. Hey, forget that it was the end of summer. We're working on the winter, and had a celebration for a stag dinner to get ready for that in 1932.
Certainly, and that of course related to the golf course that was in what's now Norris Court.
Right, and Mr. Harry Norris related there too. Yeah,
certainly, and we were still in the first year of Glasgow Country Club in October of 1932. So lots of new things happening, and
they were sounded like they were promoting it correctly. 1942, here's one for you in the Glasgow Times. Listen up. The Slap-a-Jap scrap pile. Say it again. The Slap-a-Jap scrap pile in the courthouse yard was upped considerably this afternoon by the addition of about 8 truckloads of all sorts of scrap metal from the yards of the Central Oil Company, the 513 Tire and Battery, and the Quick Tire Service. There's room for more. Your little bit of scrap might be the bit of bomb that'll knock the Tojo out of Tokyo. Don't you wish we could write like that again?
Wow. That's a powerful comment there.
That's right.
But as I think we alluded maybe just last week, that the initial scrap piles that were collected were placed on the courthouse lawn for all to see, but it got to be such an enormous pile of stuff that it was later transferred over to the Liberty Street School campus, and an enormous pile was created there, and there are lots of pictures of that. The whole school body went out to have their picture made with the scrap pile.
That being the Slap-a-Jap scrap pile.
Indeed. Americans were still pretty upset over being attacked.
Indeed. 1952, the Jaycees, Sam, constructed a wooden lung. What did he say? The wooden lung being built in Glasgow as a project of the Glasgow Junior Chamber of Commerce is rapidly nearing completion. It'll be placed on display in the downtown location in the next few days, according to Randolph C. Wilson, Jr., the chairman of the Lung Project for the Jaycees. Under the direction of the Jaycees, the Lung has been a community effort with local woodworkers and stores pitching in to help. Lumber for the lung has been furnished by the old planing mill, while local hardware and farm stores have supplied miscellaneous bolts, fittings, and other small hardware. Cabinet makers who have donated their services are William Sorrells, Bright Gerald, and Elton Compton. The function of the lung is identical to an iron lung, and the major difference is that metal parts are replaced by wood. The device will be a valuable addition to the equipment of the area polio center at Sampson Community Hospital. I like that story because that shows the community spirit of let's do what we can.
It certainly does. And polio was continuing to terrorize people all across the country.
Indeed.
And T.J. Sampson didn't have a lot of equipment for all of the patients with polio that were coming there for treatment. So what a great community service.
Indeed. It's part of our history. Sad story, in 1962, Cave City banker Samuel D. Caldwell died. Samuel Davis Caldwell Sr., a Cave City banker of 74 years, died at his home. He would have been 94 on October the 13th, born 3 years after the Civil War ended to Dr. Charles Luther Caldwell and Mary Elizabeth Davis Caldwell. Before 1897, he was associated with his uncle, H.Y. Davis, in the Davis Bank, founded in 1888. He served as the bank's cashier. He helped organize the People's Bank in Cave City in 1897. He served as president of the bank more than 60 years, but in an inactive role the past 15 years. But his name associated with good banking in Cave City here in 1962.
Certainly a lot of history in that small item.
Indeed. 1972, Mark Adams is now the new president of the Temple Hill 4-H Club. The vice president is Deb Jones. The secretary-treasurer is Lona Sue Harlow. The reporter is Donna McCubbin. The song leader is Cheryl Harlow. The recreation leader is Vicki Jones. The devotional leader is Karen Williams. And the parliamentarian is Danny Bacon. How about some youngsters in 1972 stepping up for the Temple Hill 4-H Club there, Sam Terry?
They were indeed.
1982, recent burst. We had these, this was in the Times. I think we had them in the Republican last week, most of these, but Justin Bradley Cole in 1982 on October the 1st. Tyler Harding Wells, Megan Brooke McGregor, Kimberly Marie Carrico, and Jonathan David Harris. Some youngsters ramping up the population here in 1982. 1992, this was the day that trophies were presented in singles division of the Summer Tennis League conducted by the Glasgow Recreation Department. Now, Jim Thompson was the winner, Buddy Underwood runner-up, and Steve Weniger was third. Some excellent tennis players there for the singles division of the Summer Tennis League. What about that? We have a love for tennis around here, Sam. 2002, this was a very important day. The Glasgow City Council authorized the lease and finance agreement with Kentucky League of Cities for the Plaza Theater project. And now look where we are. Miles ahead, but some folks were able to see into the future. And that was reported in the Barron County Progress here in 2002, Sam.
They were, and that was a highly anticipated project. The community was solidly behind it, but it took a lot of people working the pieces to the puzzle to make it all work and to restore the plaza so that we all can use it today.
I recall, as is often the case with anything, there were a lot of naysayers back in the day, but now those naysayers can't be found because it's such a wonderful thing that we have now, the Plaza Theater. And this day in 2012, it was reported the Barron County Progress. You know, we're talking about the Harvest of History coming up. Well, this day in 2012, Ernie Myers was announced to be portraying Henry Raybould in last week's production of The Harvest of History, presented by the South Central Kentucky Cultural Center. Ernie did he put it all into it, did a great job of portraying Mr. Henry Raybould in that Harvest of History from 10 years ago, Sam.
He did. And, you know, we have another tribute to Mr. Raybould that we drive by every day, but we've become so accustomed to it, we may not give it the attention it deserves. But there's a mural depicting Mr. Raybould, and it promotes the South Central Kentucky Cultural Center, and it's down on the corner of Liberty and West Main Street.
Liberty and West Main. Okay.
Just right around the corner from the radio station. So glance over there as you drive by someday.
Coming on down, headed toward downtown from out West Main, you look over there and see it, and it's something to be proud of for sure. We don't want to forget those that made a difference for sure, and there are a whole big bunch of them. And that's part of the fun we have on the archive, Sam. As you can tell, October starting off with a bang and going to continue to be banging all month long, it looks like, sir.
I think so.
Let's reconvene tomorrow. We'll talk more about the Harvest of History and other important things coming up. Thank you, sir. Have a good day.
You too, Henry.
Sam Terry is here on behalf of Joseph A. Wade Industrial Hardware Services, proud to be the sponsor of the archives here on WCLU each and every day.
The I didn't realize you liked me that way deal. Because it's one thing to receive McDonald's, but an entirely other thing to know that they woke up early to face the world and bring you McDonald's breakfast still hot in the bag.
Appreciate you.
Get 2 of your breakfast favorites for only $5. Crispy chicken biscuit, sausage McMuffin with egg, or sausage, egg, and cheese McGriddles. Only at McDonald's. Limited time only. Prices and participation may vary. Single item at regular price. Cannot be combined with any other offer.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Paid for by Christian Care Ministry.
Let's see, if something costs less, but people are happier with it, that sounds like something to look into, and that's Medi-Share. Maybe you've heard switching to Medi-Share to pay for health care can save the typical family $500 a month. And that's huge, but it's also true that people are way more satisfied after making the switch, too. The customer satisfaction rate for Medi-Share is double that of the typical health insurance plan. Double. Medi-Share works. It's been around for more than a quarter century, and members have shared more than $3 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth and a huge nationwide PPO network. So, yeah, you can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care. So if you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan you're happy with, you can call right now and get a price within 2 minutes. A very, very smart use of 2 minutes. Here's the number you need. 844-53-BIBLE. That's 844-53-BIBLE. 844-53-BIBLE.
Weather from the WCLU Weather Center. Brought to you by South Central Bank.
You work hard for your money. It's time your money does some of the work, and South Central Bank has created a way for that to start happening today. South Central Bank has announced CD rates that will get your money into the workforce. A 21-month CD with an APY of 2.50% is now available. That's right, a 21-month CD that pays 2.50% available now from South Central Bank. Need a shorter term? Well, the 9-month CD pays 1.5% APY. Minimum deposit $500. Come into any South Central Bank today and make it happen. Member FDIC. Penalty for early withdrawal may apply. In the WCLU Forecast Center, a sunny day today, 73. A clear night tonight, and 43. Sunny on Tuesday, and 73. Clear on Tuesday night, you guessed it, a low of 42. And then a little more warmth on Wednesday, a sunny day, but still only 76 for the high. 702, 50 degrees at WCLU. Weather brought to you by your friends taking care of your financial business every day at South Central Bank.
The Glasgow Police Department, we strongly believe in outreach and getting involved with our community.
Obviously, we're doing more than just out in the community writing tickets. We're here for the community when they call for help.
We deal with medical patients, we deal with all kinds of sorts of things and all kinds of different people.
I enjoy getting the calls of, hey, I need gas, can you bring me a gas can?
We're always involved in stuff and just trying to invest in our community and make it better.
Glasgow's always been my home. This is where I was born and raised, and this is where I'll stay.
Refine, revitalize, and restore with great gifts for any occasion. Glasgow's premier med spa, R Plus, is here to help you enhance your self-image by celebrating your unique beauty. Shop from the brands we love at our retail store, or purchase a gift certificate for any of our services, from hydrofacials and skin pen to laser treatments and massage therapy. Pamper your loved one today with the gift of care from R Plus Med Spa in Glasgow.
The Sustainable Glasgow Kentucky Proud Bounty of the Barons Farmers Market has begun and is every Saturday from 8 a.m. till noon on the courthouse lawn in downtown Glasgow. Expect to find an array of fresh vegetables, meats, breads, baked goods, plants, and crafts, all from farmers and local producers. So join your friends and neighbors Saturday mornings, and thank you to our community partners South Central Bank, TJ Simpson Community Hospital, Kentucky Proud, and Sustainable Glasgow. Local foods, local folks.
Holloway has made a trip to Allen County to bring back this way, so that when you're ready, when you just get sometimes you can feel in the air it's going to be cool and crisp, and it's a good biscuit making day. You don't want to have to go out somewhere and hunt for sorghum molasses. Not nearly as good as what you can get at Glasgow Building Supply today. It's already in stock. Jimmy went and got it. It's waiting for you. Come and check out all the things you're going to need to batten down the hatch for the winter time, and get some molasses while you're there. We're talking about Glasgow Building Supply on the 31E bypass in Glasgow. All right, what are we going to do next? We're going to get ready to play trivia, and what happens is we dump out the hat each and every month at the end of the month, so that we can have a clean start on things for the first of the month. Everybody's going to be eligible to win here in trivia. Let me get ready to play these commercials, and I'll ask the question.
Let me ask you something. What do you see when you look at your home and your car? Do you see a bundle, a combo deal? That's how other insurance companies see them. But a State Farm agent sees so much more, because a State Farm agent sees your home and your car as more than just four walls and four wheels. They see the things you've worked really hard for. So why not give them the protection they deserve? Call State Farm agent Mike Bryant in Glasgow at 270-651-3608.
Got it. Thank you.
Little Caesars presents delicious duos like bacon and eggs, spaghetti and meatballs, and of course peanut butter and jelly. Now, Little Caesars brings you a large, hot and ready slices and sticks. A delicious duo featuring 4 slices of pepperoni pizza, together with 8 tasty slices of Italian cheese sticks, plus crazy sauce for only $6. Little Caesars hot and ready slices and sticks is just $6. Available every day when you walk in between 4 and 8 at Little Caesars.
Pizza. At participating locations plus tax. Prices may vary.
All right, when you hear that Little Caesars commercial there, it says, hey, get ready to win a pizza. Just show your smarts. And everybody's up and running, got a lot of rest this weekend, moving forward with the chance to win a pizza from Little Caesars today. We've emptied out the hat, as I said, and we've got everybody is eligible to win. So let's see who is going to win. We have a lot of competitors out there, I tell you. It's a ritual for a lot of folks, and we like that. So here we go. 651-9149, 800-956-1023. What country has the national language with the longest alphabet? What country would you be living in? What language would you be speaking in this country if you were in this country with the absolute longest alphabet? Hello? No. That's a dial tone right there. What country has the national language with the longest alphabet? Trivia.
Cambodia.
Say it again.
Cambodia.
That's right. Who's it speaking?
Steve Riley.
Say it one more time.
It's Steve Riley.
Steve, how you doing?
Sir,
now, what do you know about Cambodia, sir?
I figured.
You must be on the road or something, because you're cutting out a little bit right there.
Yeah.
Okay, now.
Hey, Henry, can you hear me better now?
Yeah, I can now. Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah, I was in the car, so I was on speakerphone. Okay. Yes, Cambodia. I just figured it's somewhere in Southeast Asia, and that's the one I guessed.
How many characters do you think's in the alphabet of Cambodia?
How about 18?
74.
74.
Can you imagine learning? It's the language is called Khmer. That's Khmer, which if you were old enough to be around during the Vietnam days, you would remember something referred to as the Khmer Rouge.
I do. I actually do remember that, yes.
Which was the Cambodian influence into the Vietnam War. And
that's correct.
You know, I don't know. 74 characters. I'm not sure how they use all of those, but they certainly, hands down, have the most letters in the alphabet in their language. 74. Well, Steve, it's good to have you on the radio. It's been a while since you've won trivia. I know you're a busy man.
Henry.
And,
yes.
But I'm going to get your address from you here just in a second. We will send you that pizza, and you can sit. Maybe you can eat that pizza on the run somewhere, you think?
It probably have to be that way, Henry.
All right. Well, good deal. Congratulations. By showing your smarts there. You're the first winner of the month, October. Wait right there. I'll get your address. Steve Riley. That's right. It is indeed. Cambodia is the country that speaks the language Khmer, and if you have to learn Khmer, you got to learn the 74 letters in the alphabet of Khmer. Sounds tough. We'll play tomorrow. See where we'll go then. Have a good day, and coming up at the 7 o'clock morning edition here in WCLU.
Good morning from Forever Communications. WCLU Glasgow, W276VO Glasgow, WLLI Muffordville, WLYE Glasgow, W253BN Glasgow. Good morning live.
CBS News special report. Many in southwestern Florida spent the weekend taking stock of losses from Hurricane Ian, which killed at least 86 people. Officials say they're still searching the rubble for others. Governor Ron DeSantis.
This is such a big storm, brought so much water that you're having basically what's been a 500-year flood event here in DeSoto County and in some of the neighboring counties.
Bob Boulanger lives in Geneva, where floodwaters from Lake Harney have covered his neighborhood.
I was able to keep it out, not all the way, but keep it at a level, workable level, until it came in the front door. Once it came in and it crossed the house, they met, that was it.
More from CBS's Chris Hoffman.
Federal officials say more than 1,000 people have been rescued from flooded areas along Florida's southwestern coast. 5,400 National Guard members are supporting relief effort, including clearing the roads in Fort Myers Beach.
President Biden will be in Florida Wednesday to survey the damage. CBS News special report. I'm Deborah Rodriguez.
Injuries and illnesses that require immediate attention can happen anytime, any day of the week. That's why TJ Urgent Care is open daily, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Their team of doctors and nurse practitioners are highly trained in caring for your family's urgent health care needs. With on-site lab, radiology, and pharmacy, TJ Urgent Care provides the ultimate convenience. No appointment is needed, and TJ Urgent Care is open 7 days a week. TJ Urgent Care, located at the TJ Health Pavilion in Glasgow. TJ Urgent Care, total local care.
When you or a loved one have been seriously injured in a wreck, it feels like you're losing control.
Bills are piling up. Your injuries may be preventing you from working. Don't leave your future in the hands of the insurance company.
They'll take advantage of you.
Call Hughes & Coleman today. We've been fighting to get our clients the most money possible for over 35 years.
Control starts with a call. Hughes & Coleman, 800-800-4600.
Principal office in Bowling Green, Kentucky. Services may be performed by others.
Everyone has the right to control their own future.
This is not the case if you've been seriously injured in a car wreck or a big truck wreck. The insurance companies will take advantage of you.
We've recovered over $1 billion for our clients.
We're passionate about getting big dollar results for our clients.
Control starts with a call. Hughes & Coleman, 800-800-4600.
Principal office in Bowling Green, Kentucky. Services may be performed by others. Over $1 billion recovered for our clients in Kentucky and Tennessee.
Good morning. It's Monday, October 3rd, 2022. 50 degrees now at 7:12. Good morning. Welcome into WCLU Local News. I'm Brennan Crane. Partly sunny skies today, gradually becoming clearer. A high near 74. For your evening, it's clear. A low around 41. Looking ahead toward the rest of the week, 73 on Tuesday. By midweek, 78 Wednesday, 81 on Thursday. So we will have a little bit of a peak there, but here's the good news. Getting back into the weekend, looks like this coming Friday, Sunny with a high near 67, 62 on Saturday. That's the forecast at this point. In an order issued last Friday in Barron Circuit Court, Judge John T. Alexander dismissed the allegations of wrongdoing toward 12 people involved in the seizure of a group of horses 2 years ago. Now, that lawsuit was filed June 13th by Greg and Brittany Turner and their business, BG Stables. It named Barron County Judge Executive Michael Hell, his wife Shaney, all members of the Barron County Fiscal Court, Glasgow Mayor Harold Armstrong, local animal control officer Shelley Furlong, Steve Bull, and Susanna Johnson. Now, the horse deal, as it's been called here locally, started several months ago. Weeks of uncorroborated reports headlined a local newspaper. Political division and desperate attempts to clarify the matter were made from the Barron County Government Center. Mr. Turner pleaded guilty to 9 counts of second-degree animal cruelty in Barron District Court. That happened last February, and as a part of that plea, they agreed to relinquish a group of horses that he owned and operated at the Barron River Lake State Resort Park. Now, initial complaint came in about animal abandonment, and that was made to local animal control about 2 years ago. Barron County government soon took possession of 9 horses that were lodged there at Mr. Turner's former stables there at the state park. That was in October 2020, and the Barron Fiscal Court was maintaining those horses thereafter. Magistrates each month approving expenditures for various bills paid to vets, lodging, feed, and others. Now, Barron County Attorney Catherine Thomas prosecuted this matter in Barron District Court, and that led to Turner's eventual guilty plea, but he later filed suit against the county and alleged that he was maliciously prosecuted and his constitutional rights were violated, among other allegations. And, of course, in this entire lawsuit, Judge Alexander dismissed pretty much everything that the Turners were bringing against these 12 individuals, citing namely the statute of limitations, which is a legal term for a limitation on when you can actually sue someone. After a certain amount of time has passed, in this example 1 year, you can no longer sue that person. There was also another element to this lawsuit, and that was, of course, Mr. Turner's assumption of guilt. He pleaded guilty, which there's a legal term for not being able to go back on that. It's called estoppel. Now, this term, it's a legal principle. Essentially, it's precluding someone from asserting something contrary to a previous action. In this case, Mr. Turner's allegations were mostly dismissed because of his prior guilty plea. You can find a complete look at this particular ruling, and you can find that judgment at our website at WCLUradio.com. A Grayson County man is believed to have been counting money moments before he died in a crash with a train along State Quarry Road back in July. That's according to new information released by state police. 33-year-old Timothy Duval of Litchfield was killed July 13th after he crossed a railroad track in a 2014 Mack dump truck and collided with a CSX freight train. He was a self-employed trucker, according to insurance documents. Now, an autopsy report, it does list Duval's cause of death as multiple blunt force injuries. Barron Metcalf EMS and Park City Fire, they were called to that scene there at 454 State Quarry Road at 2:21 back on July 13th, and that's according to a CAD report. Now, witnesses there at the scene, they did report that the dump truck was on fire and the occupant was still inside, but it was later determined that Mr. Duval was ejected during that collision. Now, Anthony Howes of Annville, he was identified as the conductor of the train that day. He said he sounded the horn several times prior to reaching the railroad crossing, and an attempt to brake was made. A witness at the scene, it was identified as Dawn Crabtree. She was sitting inside local business Park City Stone. That's the owner of that rock quarry there. When she witnessed that crash, she told police that Duval had just left the quarry and he never stopped for that particular train.
Mr. Duval had just left from getting a load of rock, and I was looking out the window. I could not see the wheels or his road, but I could see that he was still rolling, and I could hear the train coming and the horn going. Please, God, stop rolling, stop moving, and then he got hit.
Now, that's newly obtained audio from an open records request with Kentucky State Police. That is the first interview they conducted with Crabtree there at the scene of the crash that day. That was about 5 o'clock in the evening. Now, the crash, it did cause the truck to overturn, and a fire ensued. Of course, that train did not stop in time. It crashed into the driver's side of Mr. Duvall's truck, traveling nearly 41 miles per hour. Now, police later speaking with Duvall's father-in-law, they did that July 15th. And he told them, quote, whenever Timothy would purchase rock at the quarry, he would always pay in cash, unquote. A state police report says that Duvall's wallet was found there on the front of the train engine, and cash was found alongside the stretch of the railroad tracks. Police writing in their narrative, quote, this could indicate that Timothy may have been organizing his money in his wallet when the collision occurred, unquote. Now, attorneys from Bolus Law Firm in Louisville, they are representing Duvall's family and his wife Emily in this matter. They're investigating only at this point. WCLU News confirming last Wednesday with Bolus lawyers that no action has been taken at this point to litigate. Of course, this is a developing story, and those lawyers are staying on this. We did receive some additional information from state police about this investigation. It has been concluded at this point. Now, as far as what else has happened around this particular crash, if you remember last week, magistrates approved in a special called fiscal court meeting that they were going to approve about $700 there to pay for pavement markings and road signage along State Quarry Road. And that was, of course, to prevent further accidents. Now, there was a second accident there along that stretch of roadway at the train tracks back in September. That individual, we understand, was severely hurt, but they were not killed during that crash. Mr. Duvall is, of course, the one who was killed back in July, and we're continuing to follow this. And speaking of train crashes yesterday, we don't have a lot of information, but we did receive a preliminary report. There was apparently a train crash yesterday about the 3 o'clock hour, and that happened there in Hart County, particularly in Horse Cave around the Guthrie Street area. We understand that a passenger vehicle had been struck by a train there in that area. We understand that the individual that was in that vehicle was not injured greatly, but their vehicle, of course, was. We don't have an update about who was involved in that crash or how it happened, or who is investigating that at this point. Well, some big news for local hospital, TJ Regional Health and TJ Sampson Community Hospital. They've once again been recognized by the American College of Cardiology in the Best Hospitals issue of U.S. News and World Report. That's for their dedication to heart patients, they say. Patients and caregivers can trust hospitals and health systems that participate in the National Cardiovascular Data Registry and those that receive ACC's accreditation seal of approval. They are recognized for delivering the best inpatient care. Now, through the capture and reporting of trusted and reliable data, TJ Regional Health says that the NCDR helps participants measure, benchmark, and improve cardiovascular care. Through their participation in the ACC's proven quality programs, they say, quote, we rely upon robust quality improvement processes using data to improve the quality of care provided for our heart patients. TJ Sampson Community Hospital, they say, is, quote, committed to providing top-level care. To learn more about that, you can go to tjregionalhealth.org/cardiology. And nothing to report from this morning's 911 report. 7:21 now, 50 degrees. On the other side of this break, we're going to take a look at what's going on at Glasgow High School with this week's Best of G-Town You Know. You won't want to miss it. Stay right here.
Most people will hesitate before planning a funeral in advance.
The funeral? We'll arrange that when the time comes.
But there's a lot to be said for advance planning. For one thing, you have the peace of mind of knowing that your arrangements have all been made. You can consider the options when your mind is clear, and you'll have the relief of knowing that your loved one will be well cared for. A.F. Crow & Son Funeral Home, a celebration of love.
You work hard for your money. It's time your money does some of the work. And South Central Bank has created a way for that to start happening today. South Central Bank has announced CD rates that will get your money into the workforce. A 21-month CD with an APY of 2.50% is now available. That's right, a 21-month CD that pays 2.50% available now from South Central Bank. Need a shorter term? Well, the 9-month CD pays 1.5% APY.
Minimum deposit $500.
Come into any South Central Bank today and make it happen. Member FDIC. Penalty for early withdrawal may apply.
Welcome back into WCLU Local News here on this Monday, October 3rd. It's 50 degrees now. The time it's 7:22. Already talking about that weather forecast today. Another beautiful day in store. 74 degrees, partly sunny out there, gradually becoming clearer as the day goes on. Tonight, a little bit chilly, clear, a low around 41. Looking ahead toward this week, we are going to hit a little bit of a peak in our temperatures about midweek. Wednesday into Thursday, looks like that temperature is going to bounce between 76 and 81 degrees. But by Friday, at this point, we're saying sunny with a high near 67. And this weekend looks pretty cool, actually. Saturday, 62, sunny, and next Sunday, sunny with a high near 67. So that's kind of the stretch of your weather forecast looking ahead for this week. Looks really pleasant out there. You're probably likely already seeing some of those leaves starting to change here locally. Of course, it looks like we are going to have a pretty good amount of that fall foliage out there this year, and that'll be something to enjoy, especially along that Louis B. Nunn Cumberland Parkway or Expressway. You can see those leaves really changing there, especially in all those areas where there's a lot of trees. In more news this hour, well, Glasgow High School, lots of things are going on there, as we'll hear in just a moment. Of course, students are on fall break this week. It's hard to believe already that first quarter of the school year is nearly over, and with more, it's the best of G-Town you know.
Hey Scotties, I'm Acacia Hayes, Editor-in-Chief of the Scotty Channel. Welcome to G-Town You Know. On today's episode, Glasgow High School hosts a Club Rush Day, the Scotty Band performs well at recent competitions, and a longtime football coach is honored for his dedication to the program. The Scotty Channel also takes a look at the recent projects in the art room and items available in the GHS bookstore. But first, we have Will Perosi with the headlines.
Glasgow High School recently received the Great Schools College Success Award, an award that recognizes public high schools that excel at preparing students for college and careers, according to a press release from greatschools.org. Glasgow Independent Schools was ranked as the 11th best school district in Kentucky, according to a best schools ranking by niche.com. The Glasgow Scotty Marching Band competed in the Bluegrass pageant of bands this past weekend at Bryan Station High School, placing first in Class 2A and third overall. Select Scotty singers visited Western Kentucky University for the WKU Sing Out event, where they worked with WKU's own music directors and students to learn about leadership skills and many new pieces of music. Homecoming was last Friday night. Congratulations to our entire homecoming court, and a special congrats to Javon Clark and Lainey Bishop, who were crowned homecoming king and queen. The GHS academic team hoisted 2 new national championship banners, adding to their already impressive legacy. Way to go, Scotties.
Longtime Glasgow football coach Blaze Talicki was recently honored during halftime of the Allen County Scottsville game. The Scotty Channel has the full story right now.
Tonight, the Glasgow Board of Education and Glasgow High School are honored and excited to add another well-deserving member to the group of individuals you see recognized as you enter Hank Roy Stadium. And that individual is going to be Mr. Blaze Talicki.
I'm Easton Jesse here with Blaze Talicki. And what is your role on the football team?
Basically taking care of the field, care of the equipment, and helping with the kickers.
At what point did you realize you were getting recognized?
Blaze is an invaluable asset who continues to leave an indelible mark on generations of Scotties.
About 2 seconds after they gave the speech in the press box.
What did that mean to you?
Well, I really appreciate it. It's really humbling because it's something I enjoy doing, and I just enjoy doing it.
We really appreciate you doing all that. And how long have you been here?
I've been helping with the field for 35 years, but I came here in 1985, so 37 years I've lived in Glasgow.
So Luke Simmons, you're Coach Blaze's grandson. And how would you say he's affected the community and the whole football program all around?
He's been painting the field for over 30 years now and helping out all the players. Just big impact on the team.
Thanks to everyone who helped out with today's show. Check out the full episode at scottychannel.com. Until next week, this is G-Town You Know.
All right, very good. We appreciate that report each week from those students there at Glasgow High School. Again, that program is being led there by former Glasgow Daily Times journalist, Mr. Will Perkins. Today, partly sunny, a high near 74. Tonight, clear, a low around 41. The rest of your week looks clear out there. Looks sunny and looks very nice. 73 Tuesday, Wednesday, 76. Have a great Monday.
What QC Kinetics is doing for people here is nothing short of amazing. I'm talking about real lasting relief from joint pain. Hey, it's James Coates. QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in exciting new pain treatments with advanced regenerative medicine, non-surgical alternatives. So if you're living with joint pain from injury or arthritis, don't let them tell you steroids and pain meds and surgery are your only options. QC Kinetics uses regenerative treatments that can restore and repair damaged tissue. Maybe you've been diagnosed with bone-on-bone arthritis and been told you need a replacement. Call QC Kinetics now for an alternative way to deal with the pain. These amazing protocols work with pain caused by injury as well, like a torn meniscus or rotator cuff. Call QC Kinetics now. Don't keep living with the pain. Learn how regenerative medicine can give you your life back with no drugs and no surgery. Call QC Kinetics for a free consultation, 270-974-4500, 270-974-4500. That's QC Kinetics, 270-974-4500.
Highland Pharmacy on Rogers Road in Glasgow has been a community favorite since 2012, and there's a reason for that. They consistently offer a wide range of customized services, quality care, and a commitment to you. Over-the-counter COVID tests are available and can be billed to most insurance carriers. You can also receive the COVID vaccine at Highland Pharmacy. Register at highland-pharmacy.com. That's highland-pharmacy.com. Highland Pharmacy, a community favorite since 2012.
This is the Kentucky News Network.
Anti-abortion supporters are making their voices heard in Kentucky. Hundreds of people attended the Yes for Life rally in Frankfort over the weekend, urging Kentuckians to vote yes on Amendment 2 in November's midterm elections. Amendment 2 would remove people's rights to an abortion in Kentucky if it's voted for in November. Pro-choice activists were also in attendance Saturday to criticize abortion restrictions, and both groups say they'll be holding more rallies before the election. A child care worker is pleading not guilty to assaulting at least 2 infants at a Louisville daycare facility. Rachel Flannery was arrested on Friday in connection with the incidents at Vanguard Academy in Norton Commons. Court documents show 24-year-old Flannery faces charges of abusing a 6- and 7-month-old, and the incident involving the latter was allegedly caught on video. Police say Flannery shoved a bottle repeatedly into the 7-month-old's mouth and grabbed the child's head and squeezed it into her chest. A Franklin County man faces child sex charges from incidents 7 years ago. 75-year-old Jerry Walling has been arrested and charged with rape and sodomy. His arrest record says he admitted to the crimes to a Franklin County deputy during a recorded interview. Police say the victim was 7 or 8 years old at the time, and Walling allegedly committed the same crimes on multiple occasions at his apartment. He remains in jail while he awaits trial. October is National Pedestrian Safety Month. Governor Andy Beshear reminds Kentuckians this month is a time to take extra care of pedestrians when driving on Kentucky's roads. Beshear's Better Kentucky plan already has an emphasis on highway safety, and he says dozens of pedestrian lives can be saved each year if people are more aware of the dangers. I'm Sean McCormick.
This is the Kentucky News Network.
Sign number NL309489, MSRP 30,540, sales price $29,340. All incentives to the year plus tax, federal license, 1.9% APR, with $2,500 down payment. Provides for 16 monthly payments of $1,748 per $1,000 finance for qualified buyers. Must finance with GM Financial with approved credit. Some may not qualify. See dealer for details. Offer ends 10/3/22. Sign number NC614432, MSRP 39,610. All incentives to the year plus tax, federal license. See dealer for details. Offer ends 10/3/22.
Kick off the season with huge savings at Don Franklin Chevrolet. Get 1.9% for 60 months on select all-new 2022 Chevy models. Or drive away today in the all-new 2022 Silverado 1500, starting as low as $37,610. Find new roads at Don Franklin Chevrolet in Glasgow.
51 degrees, WCLU at 7:31. We got a bunch of birthdays to go over here just in a minute, but first things first, let's don't get behind. Let's find out about Banking on Business today, brought to you by the People's Bank.
This is Melissa Carey, the new Vice President with the People's Bank. With life, we are met with daily challenges. Some are easy, while others may be more challenging. No matter the change, we at the People's Bank understand and want to help you. If you are looking for a change in banking, look no further. The People's Bank are experienced bankers ready to meet you with all of your financial needs. I look forward to serving my community. We are working for you. The People's Bank, working for you, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
This is Terry Burnell with the People's Bank, and welcome to another segment of Banking on Business. This morning I'm with Les Martin with Bailey Gibson Buick GMC at 306 Happy Valley Road in Glasgow. Les, welcome to today's program.
Thank you. Thank you guys for having me this morning.
Well, you're more than welcome. It's great to be in the new showroom here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We really are proud of the new showroom. It's definitely been a blessing to have this in the community. A lot of our local customers do come by just to check it out, and I advise everybody to do the same.
Exactly. It's a good place to spend a day at.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
Got a lot going on here at the dealership.
We do. We do. Of course, we are a Buick GMC dealership, and as of right now, we actually have a little of everything for everybody as far as inventory.
Right.
From compact vehicles up to your larger size family vehicles, which is a blessing because with the pandemic and low inventory that was, we're definitely seeing a difference turnaround in inventory here.
Now, when you talk about the buying experience, that's what you've been talking about, the buying experience. Now, that's changed over the years. Now, people, you've got the website they can come to and see what inventory's there.
Correct.
But they can look about buying their car through the internet side, but they need to talk to you to make sure they got everything lined up.
That is correct. You can go to mygmc.com and build you out your own vehicle.
Right.
With that being said, when you do that process, it is going to give you a total amount of the vehicle, and it's going to allow you to see that vehicle inside and out. With me, if you build that vehicle out at home, you can email me that build sheet, and I can definitely plug that in and order that vehicle for you, or walk you through the process of how you build that vehicle out. There's a lot of tools on our website as well, BaileyGibson.com, that say you're not just new but a pre-owned vehicle. There, you can actually check out financing. You can do a credit application through our website, or you can even calculate how much your payment, approximately what your payments would be. Which a lot of people don't know that those features are available for them. It's at your fingertips if you utilize it, and if you don't know how to utilize it, I'm one phone call away.
One phone call away.
Yeah.
What I like about the local dealership, though, is it is the local dealership. And we're talking about that experience because, buying a vehicle, it can be intimidating at times.
Correct.
And we want people to know that coming in here in a relaxed atmosphere and experiencing that, talking to somebody who's don't want to just do a transaction, but want to build that relationship.
Correct. Like I said before, I'm not your salesman, I'm your consultant.
Right.
We sit down and we go through the whole process of what it is you like and what do you need out of that vehicle. Vehicles aren't just an A to B thing anymore. A lot of people almost live in their vehicle. So, I mean, especially with your GMC and your Buicks, they are Wi-Fi compatible. You actually can utilize that if you're a camper. You can, the Wi-Fi actually is through OnStar. That Wi-Fi is up to 50 foot from your vehicle. A lot of people don't know that Wi-Fi is available, but it is available for you through your OnStar services. One example is we do have a 22 model brand new GMC Terrain. That Terrain is all-wheel drive vehicle, and the AT4 lineup it stands for all terrain. So if you're the adventurous person, that vehicle perfect for you. It's got a Sky Cape sunroof in it, so you can see the whole. If you want to sit there and look look at the stars, you can. And like I say, it's for off-roading. It does have a little more aggressive tire on it, and with that, it also has all your features like your collision alert and your lane departure. And hands-free tailgate. If you're trying to put your kayak in the back and push it to the front, you can do that without having to ever have to set your kayak down on the ground.
We're talking about buying a vehicle, new or pre-owned, but we need to talk about the service department.
Service department, awesome service department. I brag about them on a daily basis to our consumer. Not to brag, but we do have great mechanics, as far as getting in touch with the service department, I always tell my clients, call me. Let me do that for you. You don't want to go through, if you don't want to go through the headache of having to call and schedule those things, I'm here and I'm always available. It's not just about me selling you a car. It's about you also the whole experience of that vehicle. Our service department is open 7:30 to 5 every day, Monday through Friday. They are closed on the weekends, but with that being said, they're always available for a phone call to schedule you guys.
Sure. Well, congratulations to you and the entire staff here at Bailey Gibson for the years of service you've been in our community. Danny and Marshall have just done a great job building a business, and all the team that you've got around you now is just wonderful. And appreciate you being again in our community. Congratulations on the new showroom.
I appreciate that. My showroom, if you come to the showroom, my office is a big glass office in the middle. So I'm definitely seen and available whenever you need me.
Yeah, it's great. Again, great. Appreciate you watching and listening this morning to another segment of Banking on Business. Been talking with Les Martin here at Bailey Gibson Buick GMC, 306 Happy Valley Road in Glasgow. you got to come by and check them out. You got to check out their Facebook page. You got to meet Les and meet the entire staff down here, walk around. A lot more vehicles on the lot than
we had in a while.
Yeah, in a while, yeah. So
Yep.
it looks great down here.
I appreciate it. Like my clients like to save more with less, and I like to be available to everybody whenever you need your vehicle. Okay.
Yeah. Again, Les, we appreciate your business in our community.
Thanks
again for watching and listening this morning to this segment of Banking on Business.
Right. We really get to enjoy going to Bailey Gibson, seeing all the changes and the remodeling, and hearing from Les Martin there at Bailey Gibson Buick GMC, because of the fact that they have a whole lot going on. You should check them out today. And thanks to the People's Bank for sponsoring our Banking on Business program for this morning. Okay, 7:38 now, WCLU. Good morning live. We are rolling with some fine folks having birthdays today, like Jason McCoy, Linda Riddle. It is Teresa Curd having a birthday today. Your cousin Miss Wanda called up to wish you a happy birthday. Rochelle Wright, your mom called in. Melissa White, your mom called in to wish you a happy 52nd birthday today. It is Stephanie Spence, Pat Van, Anthony Walden, B.J. Hall, Ann Hodges, Brenda Wyatt Whitlow, Ruby Nunnally, Dustin Bird, Justin Allen. That's our list of honorees here on Monday, October the 3rd. Still got plenty of time, though, to get somebody in. We're going to draw next hour for a delicious birthday cake from out at Dairy Queen and a beautiful rose from down at Greer's Flora. So get that going to us here at WCLU. By the way, today it is Brenda Wyatt Whitlow Day. It's her birthday. Somebody said, can we pat her on the back? Can we work it out on her actual birthday? Sure can. If you happen to see Brenda Wyatt Whitlow around today, you pat her on the back and remind her she's good as gold from WCLU and a little taste of Texas.
Guys, are you getting up multiple times a night to use the bathroom? As we get older, so do our prostates, and that can mean urinary problems that affect our sleep and quality of life. Life is better outside the bathroom. Real Health's Prostate Complete can help you relieve those annoying and painful prostate symptoms. Available at Walmart, or visit realhealth.com for more information and to order yours today. Try it risk-free with our 120-day money-back guarantee. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, or cure any disease.
Weather brought to you by Peggy Tuck Edwards and Private Caregiver Referral Services. When roles reverse in later years, when child becomes caretaker, when the needs of a parent become most important, it's comforting to know there is help along the way. Sometimes our elders just need a little company and companionship, and it's our duty to see that those needs are met, whether at home, assisted living, or a nursing home facility. Peggy and her network of compassionate caregivers are ready to meet you and your loved one's needs. Call 670-7062.
In the WCLU Forecast Center for today, what are we doing? We're talking about nothing but sunshine. A high of 73 degrees. Tonight, mostly clear, low of 43. On Tuesday, a sunny day and a high of 73. Tuesday night, clear, low of 42. On Wednesday, a sunny day and a high up to 76 degrees. Barometer's up at 30-20, 95% humidity. Northeast winds at 3 miles an hour. A big fat goose egg in the rain gauge this morning. The only place in the state I found any rain from Ian was up in Pikeville. They got 0.3 of an inch of rain early yesterday morning. 7:41, this weather update brought to you by Peggy Tuck Edwards, Private Caregiver Referral Services. Call Peggy this morning, in fact, at 270-670-7062.
My friend and I are taking a trip to Mexico this year, but neither of us speak Spanish. So we downloaded Babbel and started learning Spanish fast.
Want to get conversational in another language in as little as 3 weeks? Babbel's quick 10-minute lessons were designed by language experts to be the most efficient and effective way to learn a new language.
¿Cómo te llamas?
¿Cómo te llamas?
¿De dónde eres?
¿De dónde eres?
Babbel's interactive lessons are created by real language teachers and voiced by real native speakers using a modern conversation-based method. So in no time, you'll be speaking confidently about real-life topics in another language.
Nosotras vamos a México en 2 días y ahora hablamos español. Gracias, Babbel. Sí, muchas gracias.
Babbel, language for life. Celebrating 10 million subscriptions sold. Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. Just go to Babbel.com and start learning a new language today. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
At Metro by T-Mobile, you can save more. Choose from the largest selection of free 5G phones from brands you love, like Samsung, with one line of unlimited 5G for $40, period. Taxes and fees included. That's the lowest price in prepaid. Switch now and get both to save more, only at Metro. If congested, the fraction of users greater than 35 gigabytes per month may notice reduced speeds, and Metro customers may notice reduced speeds versus T-Mobile due to prioritization. Video streams in SD requires eligible port-in. See store for details.
We're at Hurt Auto Sales, 621 West Main in Glasgow, and you got to agree, Bobby, one of the saddest things is when somebody comes in here and they see the car that they wanted driving off because they got here too late.
That's right. Come on in and get it now. Got a 2015 Jeep Cherokee Latitude, a midsize SUV, priced for only $16,900. Got an 04 BMW 645 CI convertible, nice looking classy car, $14,900. 2013 Honda Ridgeline, 4-wheel drive, hard to find, loaded with all their extras, only $18,900.
That's a pretty one.
Most certainly is. A 2015 Nissan Pathfinder, 4-wheel drive, third row seat, local trade, priced for only $13,900.
Don't take for granted that your next vehicle is right here at 621 West Main, because somebody else can claim it before you can get here and do that, unless you come right now.
That's right, Henry. Come on in.
The motto will be in full force, which is
no pain when you trade with Hurt.
That's right. Hurt Auto Sales, ready to serve you today. Good morning live. We're at 51 degrees this morning. The 4th annual Sorghum Day is returning to Munfordville Saturday from 8 until 2. Watch sorghum cane being pressed and cooked to make syrup. Also going to be a cruise in, a horse wagon ride, pumpkin painting, handmade crafts, and more. What a beautiful Saturday it's going to be in Munfordville. Chris Thompson has all of the information at 537-5642. And what else we're going to remind you about this weekend, the Glasgow Renaissance Main Street 22nd Annual. That's right, 22nd Annual Cruise into Fall Car Show is going to be held Saturday in the public square. Registration begins at 8. Come and enjoy this free cruise-in of classic cars, trucks, street rods, restored imports, custom antique tractors, and antique motorcycles. They'll hand out the awards at 2 o'clock. It's a free event. Donations will be accepted. They really do a nice job. Obviously, they've been doing it for 22 years, so they're doing something right. So get up there. That's coming up this Saturday, the Glasgow Renaissance Main Street 22nd Annual Cruise into Fall. It's going to be a good one.
Good morning, friends. On a wall at the Alamo in San Antonio, Texas, hangs a portrait with the following inscription: James Butler Bonham. No picture of him exists. This portrait is of his nephew, Major James Bonham, deceased, who greatly resembled his uncle. It's placed there by the family that people may know the appearance of the man who died for freedom. Similarly, no picture of Jesus exists. Nothing in oils or watercolor, nothing on a smartphone or Instagram. But people should be able to look at his followers and see what his likeness is. Imitation is acting like someone. Resemblance is looking like someone. When we recognize our need for the Savior and begin a relationship with God, Jesus moves into our life. 2,000 years ago, he offered himself up as a sacrifice and a payment for your sins and mine. And what resulted was our transformation. He now lives in us and through us. And that is why we are able to imitate him and come to resemble him. May we commit ourselves to live like the old song says, while passing through this world of sin, let others see Jesus in you. This is Danny White for the Refuge Church of Christ.
Paid for by Christian Care Ministry.
Let's see, if something costs less, but people are happier with it, that sounds like something to look into, and that's Medi-Share. Maybe you've heard switching to Medi-Share to pay for health care can save the typical family $500 a month. And that's huge, but it's also true that people are way more satisfied after making the switch, too. The customer satisfaction rate for Medi-Share is double that of the typical health insurance plan. Double. Medi-Share works. It's been around for more than a quarter century, and members have shared more than $3 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth and a huge nationwide PPO network. So, yeah, you can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care. So if you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan you're happy with, you can call right now and get a price within 2 minutes. A very, very smart use of 2 minutes. Here's the number you need. 844-53-BIBLE. That's 844-53-BIBLE. 844-53-BIBLE.
From the north, south, east, west, NEWS, here's the latest news.
Raring back with the big old Vanna White right hook. We are spinning the big wheel of tidbit news for today. Brendan Crane, how you doing this morning, sir?
Doing well. I just now noticed I hadn't ripped my calendar from September to October.
Yeah, well,
So-
you want us to help you with that?
Well, I think I can manage it.
Okay, all right.
I just, when you leave work on Friday and it's still September, and you
Yeah.
come back Monday and it's October,
That's right.
Just how it works.
And that's just it's always when it happens on a weekend like that.
Right.
You wake up behind.
It's true.
I do that even when it's not the end of the month, but I understand how the process works.
Yeah. Well, it's hard to believe we're now in the final stretch of the year already.
And it even smells like fall out there to me.
It's wonderful. I am enjoying it.
Yeah.
The
Well,
weather is great.
I got a picture here. If you're watching on EPB6 or if you're watching on Facebook Live, to share our first tidbit story here today. There's a bus driver over in India who has been suspended after a video of him letting a monkey drive the bus. There's a big screenshot, and that's what I'm showing you here on this picture here. A long-tailed langur monkey behind the wheel of a bus.
I've seen this before. Not this particular one, but I've seen this situation.
A bus driver in the Indian state of Karnataka has been suspended after he let a monkey drive the bus during his watch. According to witnesses, the langur monkey boarded the bus with another passenger and decided to sit with the driver, known only as Mr. Prakash, while he drove around the city of Davanagar, if I'm saying that right.
I've never been to India, so I cannot speak to it faithfully, but just from what I thought the traffic in India was terrible anyway.
Yeah.
So I didn't think it really was of concern, who was driving.
Yeah, that's right. You can't pin that on a monkey, can you?
I guess not.
Well, anyway, the monkey got in and says, I'll drive, rather than sit with his whoever he was coming in there with. The driver's employer, though, has taken action, Brennan.
Okay.
After the incident gained attention on social media, the safety of passengers cannot be put at risk by, quote, allowing a monkey on the steering wheel, unquote, a spokesperson said for the Karnataka State Road Transport Corporation.
It's a pretty good rationale.
That's right. Don't let the monkey drive. The department said it was looking into the incident due to the number of calls they were receiving. The monkey eventually left the driver to carry on with his day, according to reports. This driving the bus is more boring than what I thought, I guess, said the monkey.
Let him out of there.
Some people on social media saw it as a dangerous move, while others saw the lighter side of the monkey driving the bus. It could threaten the job of the bus driver if the monkey can do it decently.
It does.
But
seems like the monkey would probably take less compensation.
Yeah, it probably would, and probably wouldn't be as big a hurry either.
That's right.
Anyway, so that's the monkey. Hey, yeah, that's right. I'll get there when I get there. Don't rush me.
Well, that's good. I'm glad you brought that one to the table today because, my goodness, think about a monkey driving a bus.
Yeah.
But I'm glad they're cracking down on that. Maybe there's some more out there.
Well, it could be some other. What kind of an idiot's driving this bus? Well, it could be a monkey. All right, story number 2. This is a little where healthcare merges with law enforcement. I like this story.
Okay.
The Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department is cracking down on those driving under the influence. They started this deal Saturday. Phlebotomists will patrol with the Las Vegas Police Department nightly to conduct blood samples on the spot.
Oh, wow.
How about that? Drinking, smoking marijuana, or consuming drugs and then getting behind the wheel is causing more and more deaths across the state of Nevada. The latest state report came out about fatalities, and the two main casual factors were under the influence and speed. So Metro created its DUI strike team, where officers go out nightly looking for drivers who might be under the influence. But lately in the stops that I've been making, this officer says, turned out to be DUI. It has been red light runners, it sounds like. If a suspect is believed to be impaired, a breath or blood alcohol test will be given, but for Metro to conduct successful litigation prosecution, these cases are required to get a blood sample within 2 hours. So, hey, let's just don't push our luck here. Let's just let phlebotomists ride with the police officers there in Las Vegas.
Well, and I don't know. I mean, surely this would be across the board. This isn't just per state because it has to do with search and seizure. But I do know that blood draws are consensual. Mm-hmm. And if you do not consent to one, then law enforcement has to obtain a search warrant to get your blood. But I guess, it's advantageous to them if you're on the side of the road and they say, hey, we'll just get this done here. We won't even have to go to the hospital.
Yeah. Well, I think that's pretty smart. They're saying, I don't know how you are. I've had the experience of having had a lot of good phlebotomists draw blood for me.
Yeah, I've never really had a fear of it.
Yeah. Well, but the thing is, it's inconvenient.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm on my way home, but no, let me swerve here, and I'm going to get a jab in the arm.
I mean, sometimes it can be bad because, you get a little lightheaded or something like that.
Yeah.
But anyway.
I thought that's pretty creative. So phlebotomists and the officer, they should be taking care of that.
That's right.
And finally, this is sort of a law story right here. Let me look at my time on the clock. There's a new law that was signed on Friday. It's going to allow, I don't know why we're doing this, but we are. The new law signed on Friday allows Californians now to legally jaywalk without being ticketed.
Very interesting.
Do we have a handle on all the different things that can happen there, I guess?
All right.
Pedestrians can now cross the street outside of an intersection without breaking the law as long as it is safe to do so.
And that is ambiguous.
That's right. The bill AB 2147, also known as the Freedom to Walk Act, was introduced by an assembly member named Phil Ting and signed into law Friday by Governor Gavin Newsom.
Interesting. I saw Governor Newsom had signed some sort of legislation. I need to find it the other day, and I was just like, interesting. Like, that just doesn't even make sense, and it could have been this one.
Yeah.
Why give people an invitation to jaywalk? Because it's dangerous, really.
That's right. I mean, we seem to be, we have a lot of other things that are, a lot of other dangers on the street besides jaywalking, I guess. But it's time to reconsider how we use our law enforcement resources and whether our jaywalking laws really do protect pedestrians. That was the thing.
I know what it was.
Okay.
It was he had signed a law to limit the use of rap lyrics at criminal trials.
Yeah, I saw that too. I'm thinking, well, how often does that happen?
Oh, me.
You don't, I mean, it's like...
I mean, maybe in California, considering it is a very creative central, But
he'd have been found guilty if they could have played the whole song.
That's
Is that
right.
what they're saying?
I guess so. I haven't really looked into the law. I can't speak to it.
Under this new jaywalking law, officers can cite a jaywalker only when a reasonable, careful person would realize there is an immediate danger of a collision. Now, there you go. So it's not, you have to be now good at predicting whether this person could have been reasonable if they weren't in a hurry.
I will give them some credit. I think, generally speaking, and unless you just find someone who's very strict about enforcing it, I don't think you're going to be cited generally for jaywalking a whole lot. I've been guilty of it. I mean, I'll say, particularly here on the square, sometimes instead of walking all the way to that crosswalk, I'll just look and make sure no one's coming and go right across. It's not safe because no one's expecting someone to be there.
They're not expecting you to be breaking the law.
That's right.
And but anyway, when I think about California and jaywalking, I think of all those old Jay Leno shows where they're asking people dumb questions and even getting dumber answers. That's my kind of jaywalking.
That's wonderful.
Tidbit News, that's where we are for today, Brennan.
Injuries and illnesses that require immediate attention can happen anytime, any day of the week. That's why TJ Urgent Care is open daily, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Their team of doctors and nurse practitioners are highly trained in caring for your family's urgent health care needs. With on-site lab, radiology, and pharmacy, TJ Urgent Care provides the ultimate convenience. No appointment is needed, and TJ Urgent Care is open 7 days a week. TJ Urgent Care, located at the TJ Health Pavilion in Glasgow. TJ Urgent Care. total local care.
Reports show that an estimated 5 million elders are abused in nursing homes each year.
Look for the signs of nursing home abuse: bed sores, broken bones, dehydration, and malnutrition. If you suspect that your loved one has been abused or injured in a nursing home, call the dedicated Hughes & Coleman Nursing Home legal team.
Control starts with a call. Hughes & Coleman, 800-800-4600.
Principal office in Bowling Green, Kentucky. Services may be performed by others. Report data from National Center for Elder Abuse. When your loved one has been neglected or abused in a nursing home, it can feel like you're losing control and don't know where to turn. Take control. The nursing home abuse signs you need to look for include bed sores, broken bones, dehydration, and malnutrition. Hughes & Coleman is here to provide the legal help your family needs in order to take action during this difficult time.
Control starts with a call to Hughes & Coleman, 800-800-4600.
Principal office in Bowling Green, Kentucky. Services may be performed by others.
The "I didn't realize you liked me that way" deal. Because it's one thing to receive McDonald's, but an entirely other thing to know that they woke up early to face the world and bring you McDonald's breakfast still hot in the bag.
Appreciate you. Get 2 of your breakfast favorites for only $5. Crispy chicken biscuit, sausage McMuffin with egg, or sausage, egg, and cheese McGriddles. Only at McDonald's. Limited time only. Prices and participation may vary. Single item at regular price. Cannot be combined with any other offer.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
What QC Kinetics is doing for people here is nothing short of amazing. I'm talking about real lasting relief from joint pain. Hey, it's James Coates. QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in exciting new pain treatments with advanced regenerative medicine, non-surgical alternatives. So if you're living with joint pain from injury or arthritis, don't let them tell you steroids and pain meds and surgery are your only options. QC Kinetics uses regenerative treatments that can restore and repair damaged tissue. Maybe you've been diagnosed with bone-on-bone arthritis and been told you need a replacement. Call QC Kinetics now for an alternative way to deal with the pain. These amazing protocols work with pain caused by injury as well, like a torn meniscus or rotator cuff. Call QC Kinetics now. Don't keep living with the pain. Learn how regenerative medicine can give you your life back with no drugs and no surgery. Call QC Kinetics for a free consultation, 270-974-4500, 270-974-4500. That's QC Kinetics, 270-974-4500.
Andersen Windows and Doors with Stormwatch protection are designed to meet building codes for coastal locations from Maine to Miami, Gainesville to Galveston. And they're on guard even when no one is home. Andersen Windows and Doors with Stormwatch protection. The uglier the weather gets, the more beautiful they become.
See the full line of Andersen Windows and Doors at Glasgow Building Supply, 31E Bypass in Glasgow. Andersen Windows. Come home to Andersen.
This is your home for Glasgow's best variety. WCLU Glasgow. W276DO Glasgow. WCLU.
This is CBS News on the Hour, presented by Liberty Mutual Insurance.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. Days after Hurricane Ian slammed into Florida's southwest coast with a vengeance, many are just getting back to see what's left of their homes. Correspondent Christian Benavides has details from Fort Myers.
If the calendar says October, chances...
Oh, and here is Christian Myers.
In some parts of Florida, flooding is getting worse. The St. Johns River in Seminole County keeps rising. Those nearby need boats to get to their homes. On Sanibel, volunteers brought residents of the hard-hit West Coast barrier island to safety.
It came up about 4 feet in the house. So I've been living upstairs.
Fort Myers Mayor Kevin Anderson is defending criticism over an evacuation order that went out just 24 hours before the storm hit.
Warnings for hurricane season start in June, and so there's a degree of personal responsibility here. I think the county acted appropriately.
At least 86 people were killed in the hurricane. Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson will be the new face on the bench when the Supreme Court begins its new term today. Correspondent Steve Dorsey's in Washington.
More rulings on landmark issues are expected this term, including on cases involving affirmative action, voting rights, a challenge to the Clean Water Act, and gay rights.
Ukraine's First Lady is speaking out about the war. She sat down with 60 Minutes' Scott Pelley on CBS.
Definitely terrorism. The war is being waged using modern means, but from the moral and ethical point of view, it's the Middle Ages.
Ukraine has recaptured a key railroad hub in Liman. Unrest in Iran shows no signs of abating after a young woman died in the custody of morality police. CBS's Vicki Barker.
Inside Iran, women protesters have been ripping off their headscarves. Outside, they've been publicly cutting off their hair, showing solidarity with 22-year-old Mahsa Amini, whose apparent crime was failing to fully cover her hair. Iran Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei has just broken weeks of silence to condemn the growing protests in his country as rioting organized by the U.S. and Israel.
Analysts predicted Brazil's far-right leader Jair Bolsonaro would lose his race, but he's forced to run off with a former leftist president, Bolsonaro, through an interpreter.
I continually believe that we would win this election. And I'd like to tell you, we will. This is just an extension of this game.
A winner in Stockholm.
The 2022 Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine to Svante Pääbo.
He's honored for discoveries on human evolution. This is CBS News.
Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance, so you only pay for what you need. Visit libertymutual.com to learn more.
Starting with one store in 1978, Boot Barn has become the largest Western and workwear retailer in the nation, supporting those who feed, build, and protect America. We offer the largest selection of cowboy boots, work boots, Western wear, workwear, and outdoor gear. With over 500,000 pairs of boots and thousands of top-quality jeans and clothing, it's an honor to support the people who make our country so great. Boot Barn. Keep West.
At Lowe's, every pro is an MVP to us. That's why MVP's rewards members can earn bonus points on select products from brands like DeWalt, Purdy paint applicators, and GRK screws. Then redeem your bonus points for exciting rewards like tools, grills, Lowe's gift cards, and more. Join Lowe's MVP's Pro Rewards today to start earning. Bonus points calculated before taxes and fees after applicable discounts, if any. Subject to program terms. While supplies last. Visit Lowe's.com/MVP's bonus points for details. Now through 10/28.
A new film scared up a hit at the movies.
If the calendar says October, chances are a horror movie will top the box office.
I'm seeing something. It's smiling at me.
And that's what Smile did, scaring its way to the top with $22 million in ticket sales. It comes after the flick planted smiling actors at baseball games around the country as a marketing stunt. Billy Eichner's Bros was highly marketed too.
Gay guys are so stupid.
I know.
But we've been smart enough to...
But it wasn't enough, as it comes in 4th place during its opening weekend. It was promoted as historic with a mass market studio-driven all LGBTQ principal cast. Don't Worry Darling and The Woman King rounded out the top 3. Matt Piper, CBS News.
Something new from Taylor Swift. She dropped Anti-Hero at midnight and posted to Instagram.
I really don't think I've delved this far into my insecurities in this detail before.
Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
Do you know what people see when they Google you? Search engines don't always get it right. And when they're wrong, it's your reputation on the line. So what do you do when you don't agree with your search results? Call Reputation Defender at 800-401-6681. Reputation Defender by Norton is one of the most trusted names in online reputation repair. We have over a decade of experience in fixing people's search results, and we can help you too. Using cutting-edge approaches, Reputation Defender pushes unflattering information down to lower pages of your search results, where few people ever look. We also promote the good stuff so that it rises to the top, letting you put your best foot forward. Your good name is too valuable to leave to the whims of a Google algorithm. You owe it to yourself to take control with Reputation Defender. Visit www.reputationdefender.com or call 800-401-6681 for free advice on your situation. 800-401-6681.
My friend and I are taking a trip to Mexico this year, but neither of us speak Spanish. So we downloaded Babbel and started learning Spanish fast.
Want to get conversational in another language in as little as 3 weeks? Babbel's quick 10-minute lessons were designed by language experts to be the most efficient and effective way to learn a new language.
¿Cómo te llamas?
¿Cómo te llamas?
¿De dónde eres?
¿De dónde eres?
Babbel's interactive lessons are created by real language teachers and voiced by real native speakers using a modern conversation-based method. So in no time, you'll be speaking confidently about real-life topics in another language.
Nosotras vamos a México en 2 días y ahora hablamos español.
Gracias, Babbel.
Sí, muchas gracias.
Babbel, language for life. Celebrating 10 million subscriptions sold. Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. Just go to Babbel.com and start learning a new language today. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
You know you can depend on WCLU for local news on the air, online, on demand at WCLUradio.com.
It's Monday, October 3rd, 2022. Welcome into WCLU Local News. I'm Brennan Crane. Partly sunny skies today, gradually becoming clearer, a high near 74. For your evening, it's clear, a low around 41. Looking ahead toward the rest of the week, 73 on Tuesday. By midweek, 78 Wednesday, 81 on Thursday. So we will have a little bit of a peak there, but here's the good news. Getting back into the weekend, looks like this coming Friday, sunny with a high near 67, 62 on Saturday. That's the forecast at this point. In an order issued last Friday in Barron Circuit Court, Judge John T. Alexander dismissed the allegations of wrongdoing toward 12 people involved in the seizure of a group of horses 2 years ago. Now, that lawsuit was filed June 13th by Greg and Brittany Turner and their business, BG Stables. It named Barron County Judge Executive Michael Hell, his wife Shaney, all members of the Barron County Fiscal Court, Glasgow Mayor Harold Armstrong, local animal control officer Shelley Furlong, Steve Bull, and Susanna Johnson. Now, the horse deal, as it's been called here locally, started several months ago. Weeks of uncorroborated reports headlined a local newspaper. Political division and desperate attempts to clarify the matter were made from the Barron County Government Center. Mr. Turner pleaded guilty to 9 counts of second-degree animal cruelty in Barron District Court. That happened last February, and as a part of that plea, they agreed to relinquish a group of horses that he owned and operated at the Barron River Lake State Resort Park. Now, initial complaint came in about animal abandonment, and that was made to local animal control about 2 years ago. Barron County government soon took possession of 9 horses that were lodged there at Mr. Turner's former stables there at the state park. That was in October 2020, and the Barron Fiscal Court was maintaining those horses thereafter. Magistrates each month approving expenditures for various bills paid to vets, lodging, feed, and others. Now, Barron County Attorney Catherine Thomas prosecuted this matter in Barron District Court, and that led to Turner's eventual guilty plea, but he later filed suit against the county and alleged that he was maliciously prosecuted and his constitutional rights were violated, among other allegations. And of course, in this entire lawsuit, Judge Alexander dismissed pretty much everything that the Turners were bringing against these 12 individuals, citing namely the statute of limitations, which is a legal term for a limitation on when you can actually sue someone. After a certain amount of time has passed, in this example 1 year, you can no longer sue that person. There was also another element to this lawsuit, and that was, of course, Mr. Turner's assumption of guilt. He pleaded guilty, which there's a legal term for not being able to go back on that. It's called estoppel. Now, this term, it's a legal principle. Essentially, it's precluding someone from asserting something contrary to a previous action. In this case, Mr. Turner's allegations were mostly dismissed because of his prior guilty plea. You can find a complete look at this particular ruling, and you can find that judgment at our website at WCLUradio.com. A Grayson County man is believed to have been counting money moments before he died in a crash with a train along State Quarry Road back in July. That's according to new information released by state police. 33-year-old Timothy Duval of Litchfield was killed July 13th after he crossed a railroad track in a 2014 Mack dump truck and collided with a CSX freight train. He was a self-employed trucker, according to insurance documents. Now, an autopsy report, it does list Duval's cause of death as multiple blunt force injuries. Barron Metcalf EMS and Park City Fire, they were called to that scene there at 454 State Quarry Road at 2:21 back on July 13th, and that's according to a CAD report. Now, witnesses there at the scene, they did report that the dump truck was on fire and the occupant was still inside, but it was later determined that Mr. Duval was ejected affected during that collision. Now, Anthony Howes of Annville, he was identified as the conductor of the train that day. He said he sounded the horn several times prior to reaching the railroad crossing, and an attempt to brake was made. A witness at the scene, it was identified as Dawn Crabtree. She was sitting inside local business Park City Stone. That's the owner of that rock quarry there. When she witnessed that crash, she told police that Duval had just left the quarry and he never stopped for that particular train.
Mr. Duval had just left from getting a load of rock, and I was looking out the window. I could not see the wheels or his road, but I could see that he was still rolling, and I could hear the train coming and the horn going. Please, God, stop rolling, stop moving, and then he got hit.
Now, that's newly obtained audio from an open records request with Kentucky State Police. That is the first interview they conducted with Crabtree there at the scene of the crash that day. That was about 5 o'clock in the evening. Now, the crash, it did cause the truck to overturn, and a fire ensued. Of course, that train did not stop in time. It crashed into the driver's side of Mr. Duval's truck, traveling nearly 41 miles per hour. Now, police later speaking with Duval's father-in-law, they did that July 15th. And he told them, quote, whenever Timothy would purchase rock at the quarry, he would always pay in cash, unquote. A state police report says that Duval's wallet was found there on the front of the train engine, and cash was found alongside the stretch of the railroad tracks. Police writing in their narrative, quote, this could indicate that Timothy may have been organizing his money in his wallet when the collision occurred, unquote. Now, attorneys from Bolus Law Firm in Louisville, they are representing Duval's family and his wife Emily in this matter. They're investigating only at this point. WCLU News confirming last Wednesday with Bolus lawyers that no action has been taken at this point to litigate. Of course, this is a developing story, and those lawyers are staying on this. We did receive some additional information from state police about this investigation. It has been concluded at this point. Now, as far as what else has happened around this particular crash, if you remember last week, magistrates approved in a special called fiscal court meeting that they were going to approve about $700 there to pay for pavement markings and road signage along State Quarry Road. And that was, of course, to prevent further accidents. Now, there was a second accident there along that stretch of roadway at the train tracks back in September. That individual, we understand, was severely hurt, but they were not killed during that crash. Mr. Duval is, of course, the one who was killed back in July, and we're continuing to follow this. And speaking of train crashes yesterday, we don't have a lot of information, but we did receive a preliminary report. There was apparently a train crash yesterday about the 3 o'clock hour, and that happened there in Hart County, particularly in Horse Cave around the Guthrie Street area. We understand that a passenger vehicle had been struck by a train there in that area. We understand that the individual that was in that vehicle was not injured greatly, but their vehicle, of course, was. We don't have an update about who was involved in that crash or how it happened or who was investigating that at this point. Well, some big news for local hospital, TJ Regional Health and TJ Sampson Community Hospital. They've once again been recognized by the American College of Cardiology in the Best Hospitals issue of U.S. News and World Report. That's for their dedication to heart patients, they say. Patients and caregivers can trust hospitals and health systems that participate in the National Cardiovascular Data Registry and those that receive ACC's accreditation seal of approval. They are recognized for delivering the best inpatient care. Now, through the capture and reporting of trusted and reliable data, TJ Regional Health says that the NCDR helps participants measure, benchmark, and improve cardiovascular care. Through their participation, the ACC's proven quality programs, they say, quote, we rely upon robust quality improvement processes using data to improve the quality of care provided for our heart patients. TJ Sampson Community Hospital, they say, is, quote, committed to providing top-level care. To learn more about that, you can go to tjregionalhealth.org/cardiology. And nothing to report from this morning's 911 report. On the other side of this break, we're going to take a look at what's going on at Glasgow High School with this week's Best of G-Town You Know. You won't want to miss it. Stay right here.
You work hard for your money. It's time your money does some of the work. And South Central Bank has created a way for that to start happening today. South Central Bank has announced CD rates that will get your money into the workforce. A 21-month CD with an APY of 2.50% is now available. That's right, a 21-month CD that pays 2.50% available now from South Central Bank. Need a shorter term? Well, the 9-month CD pays 1.5% APY. Minimum deposit $500. Come into any South Central Bank today and make it happen. Member FDIC. Penalty for early withdrawal may apply.
At the University of Louisville, we don't just live in the city lives within us, giving us purpose. Students, educators, researchers, yes. But more than that, Cardinals are the flag bearers of a more worthy tomorrow, making impacts that make a difference, leading the charge to help a better world take flight, here and beyond. Learn more at louisville.edu.
The new iPhone 14 Pro is here with Apple's most advanced smartphone display ever, and the place to get it is at T-Mobile. Now you can take your iPhone beyond with coverage that goes beyond.
You're really having fun over there. Have you been streaming Ted Lasso this whole time?
Yeah, I got the new iPhone 14 Pro at T-Mobile, and Apple TV Plus is included with our plan. It has an amazing display, so all the shows look fantastic.
Nice, but we're almost to the airport. You better download the rest of it.
No need. T-Mobile's got me covered with unlimited in-flight Wi-Fi, so I can stream all flight long. I'm catching up on the morning show next.
I'm going to make a quick stop.
Wait, where are we going?
I'm going to T-Mobile.
With nationwide coverage, the new iPhone 14 Pro on us with eligible trade-in on the Magenta Max plan and Apple TV Plus included, you'll take your iPhone experience beyond. Only at T-Mobile.
With 24 monthly bill credits plus tax for well-qualified customers. Contact us before canceling service to continue remaining bill credits or credit stop and balance on required finance agreement is due. Apple TV Plus on us up to $4.99 value. In-flight Wi-Fi on select U.S. airlines were available. See T-Mobile.com for details.
Welcome back into WCLU Local News. Already talking about that weather forecast today. Another beautiful day in store. 74 degrees, partly sunny out there, gradually becoming clearer as the day goes on. Tonight, a little bit chilly, clear, a low around 41. Looking ahead toward this week, we are going to hit a little bit of a peak in our temperatures about midweek. Wednesday into Thursday, looks like that temperature is going to bounce between 76 and 81 degrees. But by Friday, at this point, we're saying sunny with a high near 67, and this weekend looks pretty cool, actually. Saturday, 62, sunny, and next Sunday, sunny with a high near 67. So that's kind of the stretch of your weather forecast looking ahead for this week. Looks really pleasant out there. You're probably likely already seeing some of those leaves starting to change here locally. Of course, it looks like we are going to have a pretty good amount of that fall foliage out there this year, and that'll be something to enjoy, especially along that Louis B. Nunn Cumberland Parkway or Expressway. You can see those leaves really changing there, especially in all those areas where there's a lot of trees. In more news this hour, well, Glasgow High School, lots of things are going on there, as we'll hear in just a moment. Of course, students are on fall break this week. It's hard to believe already that first quarter of the school year is nearly over. And with more, it's the best of G-Town You Know.
Hey Scotties, I'm Acacia Hayes, Editor-in-Chief of the Scotty Channel. Welcome to G-Town You Know. On today's episode, Glasgow High School hosts a Club Rush Day, the Scotty Band performs well at recent competitions, and a longtime football coach is honored for his dedication to the program. The Scotty Channel also takes a look at the recent projects in the art room and items available in the GHS bookstore. But first, we have Will Perosi with the headlines.
Glasgow High School recently received the Great Schools College Success Award, an award that recognizes public high schools that excel at preparing students for college and careers, according to a press release from greatschools.org. Glasgow Independent Schools was ranked as the 11th best school district in Kentucky, according to a best schools ranking by niche.com. The Glasgow Scotty Marching Band competed in the Bluegrass pageant of bands this past weekend at Bryan Station High School, placing first in Class 2A and third overall. Select Scotty singers visited Western Kentucky University for the WKU Sing Out event, where they worked with WKU's own music directors and students to learn about leadership skills and many new pieces of music. Homecoming was last Friday night. Congratulations to our entire homecoming court, and a special congrats to Javon Clark and Lainey Bishop, who were crowned homecoming king and queen. The GHS academic team hoisted 2 new national championship banners, adding to their already impressive legacy. Way to go, Scotties.
Longtime Glasgow football coach Blaise Talicki was recently honored during halftime of the Allen County Scottsville game. The Scotty Channel has the full story right now.
Tonight, the Glasgow Board of Education and Glasgow High School are honored and excited to add another well-deserving member to the group of individuals you see recognized as you enter Hank Roy Stadium. And that individual is going to be Mr. Blaise Talicki.
I'm Easton Jesse here with Blaise Talicki. And what is your role on the football team?
Basically taking care of the field, care of the equipment, and helping with the kickers.
At what point did you realize you were getting recognized?
Blaise is an invaluable asset who continues to leave an indelible mark on generations of Scotties.
About 2 seconds after they gave the speech in the press box.
What did that mean to you?
Well, I really appreciate it. It's really humbling because it's something I enjoy doing, and I just enjoy doing it.
We really appreciate you doing all that. And how long have you been here?
I've been helping with the field for 35 years, but I came here in 1985, so 37 years I've lived in Glasgow.
So Luke Simmons, you're Coach Blaise's grandson. And how would you say he's affected the community and the whole football program all around?
He's been painting the field for over 30 years now and helping out all the players. Just big impact on the team.
Thanks to everyone who helped out with today's show. Check out the full episode at scottychannel.com. Until next week, this is G-Town You Know.
All right, very good. We appreciate that report each week from those students there at Glasgow High School. Again, that program is being led there by former Glasgow Daily Times journalist, Mr. Will Perkins. Today, partly sunny, a high near 74. Tonight, clear, a low around 41. The rest of your week looks clear out there. Looks sunny and looks very nice. 73 Tuesday, Wednesday, 76. Have a great Monday.
This is the Kentucky News Network.
A Franklin County man faces child sex charges from incidents 7 years ago. 75-year-old Jerry Walling has been arrested. He's charged with rape and sodomy. His arrest record says he admitted to the crimes to a Franklin County deputy during a recorded interview. Police say the victim was 7 or 8 years old at the time, and Walling allegedly committed the same crimes on multiple occasions at his apartment. He remains in jail while he awaits trial. Louisville's jail has poor practices. That, according to a consulting firm hired to investigate Louisville Metro Corrections after several deaths there over the past year. The report says there is a frequent absence of safety practices at the jail, as well as calling the facility poorly designed. 11 inmates have died there since November 2021, and officials say there are items in the jail cells like bunk beds and light fixtures which facilitate suicide attempts. Anti-abortion supporters are making their voices heard in Kentucky. Hundreds of people attended the Yes for Life rally in Frankfort on Saturday to urge Kentuckians to vote yes on Amendment 2 in November's midterm elections. Amendment 2 would remove people's rights to abortion in Kentucky if it's voted for in November. Pro-choice activists were also in attendance to criticize abortion restrictions, and both groups say they will be holding more rallies to run up the vote. October is National Pedestrian Safety Month. Governor Andy Beshear reminds Kentuckians it's time to take extra care of pedestrians when driving on Kentucky roads. Beshear's Better Kentucky plan already has an emphasis on highway safety, and he says dozens of pedestrian lives can be saved each year if people are more aware of the dangers. I'm Sean McCormick.
This is the Kentucky News Network.
Sports is about overcoming obstacles. This is Ernie Johnson Jr., and those are the stories I love to tell in the broadcast booth. But the courage of college athletes is more than matched by another group of young men, the boys fighting Duchenne muscular dystrophy. It's the most prolific genetic killer diagnosed in childhood, and there's no cure. But college football coaches are doing something about it, and you can help. It's called Coach to Cure MD. Text the word CURE to 501-501 to donate $25 on your next mobile phone bill, or go online at CoachToCureMD.org. Text the word CURE to 501-501 today. Help college football coaches cure MD. You'll be proud you did.
Brought to you by the American Football Coaches Association.
South Central Kentucky Monuments in Glasgow wants you to know that if you've recently lost a loved one or if you're thinking about a pre-need monument, they're here to make the process as stress-free as possible. With plenty of examples and a multitude of custom options, South Central Kentucky Monuments has the ability to offer you exactly what you want or help steer you in the right direction based on your preferences. Let my friends David and Adam Jesse provide the service and craftsmanship you deserve. To learn more, visit SouthCentralKYMonuments.com.
For over 25 years, Window World has provided quality products for homeowners around the country. Every window we sell is custom made for optimal energy efficiency and superior durability. Plus, a vinyl finish means they will never need painting. Just like our windows, entry doors from Window World are made to last, featuring a durable composite frame that will never rot. When it comes time to replace your windows or doors, trust Window World. Call 270-780-9600.
Simply the best for less. Window World.
In area funeral announcements this hour, Ella Nita Hunt, age 90, of Glasgow, died Saturday at NHC Healthcare. She was a manager at Handmacher and a member of the Cedar Grove Baptist Church. She was married to the late Orville Jr. Hunt. She is survived by a great-niece, Kim Landrum, and husband Bobby, and a great-great-nephew, Chase Landrum. The funeral service for Ella Nita Hunt will be at 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon at the A.F. Crow & Son Funeral Home, burial in the Glasgow Municipal Cemetery. Visitation will be from 10 o'clock until the funeral hour tomorrow at A.F. Crow & Son Funeral Home. In lieu of flowers, a family request donations be made to the Cedar Grove Baptist Church. Sierra Bragg, age 32, of the Lucas community, died Thursday at Vanderbilt Hospital. Sierra was a member of the Pleasant Hill Missionary Baptist Church and a member of the Barron County class of 2008. She was attending nursing school so she could follow in her mother and sister's footsteps. She was preceded in death by her mother, Bobby Jo Dubree, her grandfather, David Dubree, and great-grandparents Corbin and Nadine Lewis. Sierra is survived by her husband, Kyle, and her children, Briar Brooks, Brinley Grace, and Brady Joe, grandparents Philip Rex Elmore, Barbara and David Matthews, and Catherine Dubree, her sister Natalie Simpson, a brother Terry David Dubree, her twin brother Cody Dubree. Other survivors include her uncle William Elmore and great aunts Pam Waters and Janet Sadler, her cousins Ashley Starr, Will Elmore, Abby Elmore, and Katie Elmore. A memorial service for Sierra Bragg will be Wednesday at 2 p.m. at the Old Zion Methodist Church on Highway 1297 in Glasgow. Visitation begins at 5 o'clock Tuesday afternoon at the church. In lieu of flowers, donations can be made to an account that has been set up at South Central Bank for Sierra's family. Edna M. Logston, age 97, of Cub Run, died Saturday. She was a mother, a homemaker, and a farmer. Mrs. Logston was an excellent seamstress, a gardener who loved her flowers, especially roses, irises, and violets. She was a crafter and handmade many beautiful quilts for her children and grandchildren. She is survived by a son, James D. Logston, two daughters, Jeannie Logston and husband Warren Dill, and Donna Carroll and husband Bobby, a brother, Gary Taylor, a sister, Barbara Lee, two sisters-in-law, Mamie Skaggs and Patty Thompson, 9 grandchildren, Jennifer, Susie, Tina, Shelley, Katie, Travis, Jared, Lauren, and Kyle. Also, 21 great-grandchildren survive. Funeral services for Edna Logston will be Tuesday at 11 o'clock at Seagull Funeral Home, burial in the Logston Family Cemetery at Center Point. Visitation begins at 1 o'clock this afternoon at Seagull Funeral Home. Memorial donations can be given to the upkeep of the Logston Family Cemetery in lieu of flowers in care of Mamie Skaggs at 871 Cherry Springs Road in Cub Run. Mildred Norris Huckleby Combs, age 84, of Tompkinsville, died Sunday at her residence. She was born in 1938 to the late Ada Ballard Norris and William Stanley Norris. She is survived by a daughter, Diane Coffey, and husband Donnie of Florida, sons Mark Huckleby of Tompkinsville, Larry Huckleby and wife Tammy of Florida, Chris Huckleby of Florida, and Paul Fletcher of Florida, sisters Linda Arterburn, Betty Muse and husband Donald, and Phyllis Norris, brothers Philip Norris and wife Lois, and Travis Norris, 17 grandchildren and several great-grandchildren. The funeral service for Mildred Combs will be Tuesday at 1 p.m. at the McMurtry Funeral Home in Summer Shade, with burial to follow in the Bethlehem Cemetery in Monroe County. Visitation begins Tuesday at 10 a.m. David Earl Green, age 58, of Tompkinsville, died Saturday at his home. David was born in 1964, a son of the late Elizabeth Chapman and Earl Green. David is survived by his wife, Kit Green of Tompkinsville. Cremation has been chosen, and no service will be held at this time for David Green. Arrangements are under the direction of the Oakley Tribble Funeral Home. Thelma Dean Kingry Cunningham, age 82, of Tompkinsville, died Sunday at Signature Healthcare of Monroe County. Thelma was born in 1940, a daughter of the late Winnie and William Lawrence Kingry. She is survived by a daughter, Dawn Dale of Salina, 4 grandchildren, Samantha and Scotty McLaren, Garrett Franklin, and Trey Cunningham, 2 great-grandchildren, Mally and Sadie Beth McLaren. Thelma was also survived by 2 sisters, Margie Estes of Indiana and Carol Walden of Tompkinsville. The service for Thelma Cunningham will be at 1 o'clock Wednesday at the Oakley Tribble Funeral Home, burial in the White Cemetery. Visitation begins at 5 o'clock on Tuesday afternoon and continues Wednesday until the funeral hour at Oakley Tribble Funeral Home. Hope Elizabeth Jones Davis, age 26, of Upton, died Wednesday, September the 21st. She was a home health nursing assistant. She is the daughter of Mark Jones and Veronica Hawkins. She is survived by a daughter, Lilith Eden Davis, 2 sons, Benson Kane Davis and Simon Vincent Davis. Her maternal grandmothers, Kathy Mae Marshall of Florida and Janice Marshall of West Virginia. Her sister, Jessica Jones of Glasgow. Brothers, Randy Hawkins of Cub Run, Damian Jones of Indiana, Jareth Jones of Indiana, and Corey Jones of Somerset. David Jones of Hodgenville, and adopted sister, Catherine Hawkins. Her aunts, Monica Marshall Chandler of Virginia, Erica Thomas of Florida, and cousins Nicholas Chamberlain of Indiana, Samantha White of Virginia, Robert Marshall of Indiana, and several nieces, nephews, and many friends. A memorial service for Hope Davis will be at 1 o'clock Saturday, October the 8th at the Brooks Funeral Home. Visitation begins at 10 o'clock Saturday morning at the funeral home in lieu of flowers. Memorial contributions can be made to the Brooks Funeral Home. Ralph Wendell Bell, age 78, of Hardyville, died Friday. He was a member of the Cave City Christian Church and a former member and deacon of the Glenview Christian Church. He was the owner of Pascal Feed Mill, a lifelong farmer, and was retired from Dart Container. He was a wonderful husband, father, grandfather, and great-grandfather. He is survived by his wife of 61.5 years, Charlotte Reese Bell. Also 1 daughter, Linda White, and husband Gary of Ohio. 2 sons, Wendell Bell and wife Shannon of Glasgow, Michael Bell and wife Leanne of Hardyville. 5 grandchildren, Reese White, Megan Nave, Savannah Trainer, Mackenzie Bell, and Christopher Bell. 1 great-granddaughter, Sif Nave, and a brother, Rodney Bell, and wife Wanda of Canmer. 1 sister-in-law, Betty Reese of Glasgow, and several nieces and nephews. The funeral service for Ralph Bell will be at 1 o'clock Wednesday at the Brooks Funeral Home. Burial to follow in the Horse Cave Municipal Cemetery. Visitation begins at 4 p.m. on Tuesday afternoon at Brooks Funeral Home. Pamela Joan Sterrett, age 66, of Albany, died Thursday at Bowling Green Medical Center. She was of the United Brethren Church faith and attended Chestnut Grove Community Church. Her favorite hobby was knitting, and she loved making placemats of various sizes. She became a good cook, and she learned to be a farmer. She loved all of her goats, dogs, and Jersey cows, but not the tractors, as she became a caregiver for her father when he had gotten cancer, and she also cared for her mother. She was a teacher for her grandson, Lewis, until he graduated. She is survived by her mother, Mary Ann Scripter, husband Larry Sterrett, children Jared Sterrett, Craig Sterrett, sibling Perry Scripter, grandchildren Sidney, Todd, Lewis, and Carter, along with a host of other family and friends. The service for Pamela Sterrett will be tomorrow at 5 at Chestnut Grove Community Church in Burkesville. Visitation begins at 4 o'clock Tuesday afternoon until the funeral hour. Burial will be in Indiana. Services for Herman Roten, 83, will be conducted at 2 o'clock tomorrow at the Bartley & Sons Funeral Home in Tompkinsville. Burial to follow in the Moore Cemetery in Moss, Tennessee. Visitation begins at 11 o'clock today at the funeral home. Services for John Larry DeVore, age 77, of Edmonton, will be today at 1 o'clock at McMurtry Funeral Home. Burial to follow in the Pleasant Hill Cemetery in Metcalfe County. Services for Rodney Wayne Bewley, age 60, will be held at 11 o'clock today at the Oakley Tribble Funeral Home in Tompkinsville. Burial will follow in the Hammer Cemetery. Visitation begins this morning at 8 a.m. at Oakley Tribble Funeral Home. Obituary information is available 24 hours a day free at WCLUradio.com and on the WCLU app. No login is necessary.
When we lost Frank, we lost a good friend. Father, husband, colleague, and coach. He meant a lot to all of us. Today, we had a chance to tell him that.
When someone close to you passes on, you want to commemorate their life in a special way. That's why individual requests are such an important part of our funeral services. We strive to meet your specific needs for the most fitting service for your loved ones. A.F. Crow & Son Funeral Home, a celebration of love.
Protect your family with Woodman Life Life Insurance. Customized to meet your needs, Woodman Life Life Insurance can help keep your family and their future safe and secure.
Call your local Woodman representative today. Jeff Sneed, 270-646-0354. Jeff will be glad to hear from you.
Woodman of the World Life Insurance Society of Omaha, Nebraska. Woodman Life, standing strong for generations.
For nearly 30 years, Kuzma Family Dentistry has been proud to serve this community with the highest quality of dental care. From regular cleanings, fillings, and crowns, to dentures, implants, and more, Doctors Mark and Drew Kuzma can bring out the best in your smile. They're also proud to sponsor the Scotties football program and the Kuzma Kickoff, a field goal competition giving a lucky student at each home game a chance to win $100. Kuzma Family Dentistry, West Main Street in Glasgow, next to the post office.
Here's the score from the Kentucky News Network. I'm Scott Fitzgerald. Well, the Cincinnati Bengals were off yesterday, but the Tennessee Titans made the trip up I-65 to take on the Indianapolis Colts in an AFC showdown.
Tannehill gives it to Henry around right end to the 15, to the 10, to the 5, to the end zone. The King, Derrick Henry, touchdown!
The call on Titans Radio Network is Derrick Henry silenced the Indianapolis crowd. He would go on to rush for 19 yards on that touchdown. He'd end up with 114 yards. The Titans beat the Colts 24-17. They moved to 2-2 on the season. They will take on the Washington Commanders on Sunday. The Bengals are back to work today along the banks of the Ohio. They'll prepare to visit Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens Sunday. This after the Ravens lost to Buffalo at home 23-20. To college football, following their loss at Ole Miss, the Kentucky Wildcats dropped 6 spots to number 13 as they prepare to host South Carolina. That on Saturday, the Gamecocks are coming in on a 2-game winning streak with wins over Charlotte and South Carolina State. The Cats are an early 13.5-point favorite. Coach Mark Stoops will talk about it tonight throughout the Commonwealth on his weekly coaches show. We'll bring you what he had to say right here on this Kentucky News Network station. And to horse racing, the September meet went out in fine fashion at Churchill Downs over the weekend. 4-year-old Hot Rod Charlie, trained by Doug O'Neill, edged out Kentucky Derby winner Rich Strike by an estimated 10 inches to win the $500,000 Lucas Stakes. Hot Rod Charlie is back at Keeneland this morning as he prepares for the Breeders' Cup. Meanwhile, Rich Strike will work out just outside Lexington as trainer Eric Reed will decide if he is ready for the Breeders' Cup coming up next month. If not, he would go to the Clark at Churchill Downs. And Major League Baseball's final regular season weekend did not disappoint. The Braves beating the Mets 4-2 last night on Sunday Night Baseball. They're 2 games up on the Mets with 3 games remaining in the regular season. Atlanta is at Miami tonight, while the Mets are back home taking on Washington. I'm Scott Fitzgerald.
This is the Kentucky News Network.
I grow corn and beans, and I raise cattle. What I do is good for people, good for Kentucky. And what I don't do is good for the environment. I don't let fertilizer, chemicals, manure, or good farmland run off into the creek. And you know what? Turns out that also makes me more productive and more efficient. If you're a farmer, develop an ag water quality plan. It's never been easier. Go to eec.ky.gov/agwater to find out how.
Your annual homecoming tailgate party was a rousing success. You caught up with your weird cousin Phil. You and your buddy Dave were crowned cornhole champions. Your famous potato salad drew rave reviews. The home team even won. But the best part was what didn't happen. You didn't drive home buzzed. You got a ride home from your cousin Phil. who may be weird, but also definitely sober. Drive sober or get pulled over. Paid with funds through the Kentucky...
Hey friends, welcome to the Houchins Lucky Name program on this Monday. Hope you guys had a great weekend. Here we are ready to go for our drawing and another great week of winning here at WCLU. I'm James Coates with you till 9 o'clock this morning. After our drawing, of course, we always finish out the hour with some great gospel music, some Southern gospel. So stay with us for that. And let me give you our mailing address if you folks listening today would like a shot at winning some free groceries. And by the way, today we're drawing for $6 in free groceries. And looking forward to finding out who our big winner or possible winner will be today anyway. So P.O. Box 1628, Glasgow, Kentucky, 42142. That's where you send your postcards. Pick one up, fill it out, send it in, and just listen Monday through Friday to see if I draw your name. And if I do, give us a call and let us know you're listening to be our official winner, even today. So, P.O. Box 1628, Glasgow, Kentucky, 42142. That's really all you got to do, and then just listen in, of course, and call in, like I just said, if your name is selected. So, let's go ahead and jump right in today on this Monday. No time to waste. Let's get right into our drawing today. $6 in free groceries, because we did have a big winner this past Friday. We have a lot of cards. We sure appreciate you folks sending them in here at WCLU. All right, that should do it. Here's a card. And on the front of the card is a beautiful picture of the Northern Lights, Alaska. Absolutely beautiful picture there. Person says, please enter me into your Houchins Lucky Name drawing. We listen to you each day and enjoy it so much. Well, thank you so much. We really appreciate your kind words. They also say, have a blessed day. Well, you have a blessed day too. Mitchell Staples from right here in Glasgow. If you'll call us right now, you will be the winner today. $6 in free groceries from our good friends at Houchins. And I tell you, friends, we sure appreciate Houchins today. 651-9149, 800-956-1023. Mitchell Staples, go to your phone. We're going to play this gospel song and wait for that phone call.
Build my mansion next door to Jesus and tell the angels I'm coming home. It doesn't matter who lives around me, just so my mansion sits near the throne. I have no castles, no earthly kingdom, but my cabin will do till I get home. My mansion's yonder on the hills of glory. Oh, I hope my mansion sits near God's throne. Just build my mansion next door to Jesus and tell the angels I'm coming home. It doesn't matter who lives around me, just so my mansion sits near the throne. My mother's mansion may be close by me, across the golden She was the first one to teach me of heaven, and the very first Lord to tell me about you. So build my mansion next door to Jesus, and tell the angels I'm coming home. It doesn't matter who lives around me, just so my mansion sits near the throne.
What a beautiful old song there from the Rambos, and Build My Mansion Next Door to Jesus, written by Dottie Rambo. Of course, she died back in 2008, an American singer-songwriter, Grammy winner as well, and Dove Award-winning artist. Some folks report online that she wrote over 2,500 songs. You heard me right, not 25, 2,500 songs. And just a little bit more information about Dottie Rambo. As a songwriter, folks like Whitney Houston, Elvis Presley, Sandy Patty, Barbara Mandrell, Dolly Parton, Vince Gill, Rhonda Vincent, Vestal Goodman, Little Richard, Jerry Lee Lewis, and others, and George Jones recorded, at some point they recorded one of Dottie's songs. So that's the type songwriter we're talking about here. Just a major presence in the gospel world. Dottie Rambo there. Hope you enjoyed that from the Rambos. And here's a word from our sponsor on this Monday morning. A big thanks to Houchins.
Fall is here, and it's a great time to stock up on season favorites during our Buy 5, Save $2 sale. Get amazing deals this week on participating Red Gold products at your Houchins IGA. Mix and match 5 participating items like 14.5 to 15-ounce Red Gold tomatoes, 85 cents. 28-ounce Red Gold tomato sauce, $1.89. 46-ounce Red Gold tomato juice, $1.59. And 15.5-ounce Red Gold Sloppy Joe sauce, $1.09. See it all at myiga.com. This week only at your Houchins IGA.
Here's a look at events on WCLU Radio. The annual 1297 yard sale will be this Friday and Saturday. The sale runs from the 31E bypass in Glasgow to Highway 101 in Warren County. Cave City Fire Department Haunted Woods at Jellystone Park will be this Friday through Saturday, October 29th from 7 to 10 p.m. each Friday and Saturday night in October. Marywood Weldon Memorial Library will have a computer class on the use of the keyboard and mouse this Friday at 9:30 a.m. Register at the library or online at weldonpubliclibrary.org/events. The 4th annual Sorghum Day in Munfordville is this Saturday from 8 to 2. Watch sorghum cane being pressed and cooked to make syrup. There will also be a cruise-in, horse wagon rides, pumpkin painting, handmade crafts, and more. Cave City Chamber of Commerce is hosting a candidate forum for the upcoming mayoral and city council elections from 6 to 8 p.m. on Tuesday, October 18th. This forum is open to the public, and Cave City residents are encouraged to submit questions for the candidates at cavecitychamber@gmail.com. Submit your events at least 2 weeks in advance at WCLUradio.com.
Let's say happy birthday on this Monday, the 3rd day of October, to folks like Justin Allen, Dustin Bird, Ruby Nunley, Brenda Wyatt Whitlow. It's Ann Hodges' birthday, B.J. Hall, Anthony Walden, Stephanie Spence. A big birthday for Pat Van. Melissa White, your mama called in your 52nd birthday today. Rochelle White's mother called in her birthday, too. A big birthday for Teresa Curd. Linda Riddle celebrates. So does Jason McCoy. A big congratulations to all of these special folks on their special day here from WCLU. If you'd like to add to the list, give us a call, WCLU at 651-9149, 800-956-1023, online at WCLUradio.com.
Welcome back, everybody. Congratulations on this Monday goes to Mitchell Staples. Thank you, Mitchell, for listening in today, for your phone call, and for your beautiful postcard featuring a picture on the front of the Northern Lights up in Alaska. And Mitchell, we appreciate you so much today. And you're our first winner of the new month. We're into October, the third day of October already. So, Mitchell, thank you again. Our special song today by the Rambos and Build My Mansion. More great gospel music coming up, but let me give you our mailing address real quick here. If you folks listening would like a chance to win some free groceries from Houchins. And I tell you, Houchins, they've been sponsoring this drawing all these years, and a great place to shop. So hopefully this will really help you the next time you shop at Houchins if you become one of our big winners here. P.O. Box 1628, Glasgow, Kentucky, 42142. Pick up a postcard, folks. You can get them about anywhere. Fill it out with your name and address. Send it right here, WCLU, Houchins Lucky Name Contest, P.O. Box 1628. Glasgow, Kentucky, 42142. Tomorrow, Tuesday, we'll be at the $5 mark once again, so be sure and join us back here in the morning. I hope you folks have a wonderful day on this Monday, and if you enjoy gospel music, like I know most of you probably do who listen, we have 15 or 20 minutes of it coming your way this morning. That'll take us up to the top of the hour, 9 o'clock, so you folks have a blessed day.
We have a lot of folks to celebrate with who are winners today here at WCLU, like the Little Caesars Morning Trivia Contest winner, Steve Riley. The Dairy Queen birthday cake today is being awarded to Dustin Bird. The Greer's Rosebud vase is being given to Linda Riddle. And don't forget, we're patting Brenda Wyatt Whitlow on the back. It's her birthday today. If you see Brenda Wyatt Whitlow, you remind her she's good as gold from WCLU and Little Taste of Texas.
A message from the South Green Street Church of Christ.
If we will but think about it, we can predict and thus limit or even eliminate the amount of regret that we'll have in our lives. You will likely regret knowing more about celebrities than you do about your neighbors. We have so much information at our disposal these days, and so much of that is consumed with that which is inconsequential, like knowledge of celebrities. Much of the info we'll learn about them will either be untrue or just irrelevant. In the relationship's one way, they'll never know you exist. You'll never have an opportunity to affect their lives. All you can do is be a voyeur and observe them. We have to engage in relationships that can actually impact others. Matthew 28:19 and 20, go make disciples. You'll regret knowing more about celebrities than you do your neighbors. This has been Bart Warren for South Green Street, Church of Christ.
What QC Kinetics is doing for people here is nothing short of amazing. I'm talking about real lasting relief from joint pain. Hey, it's James Coates. QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in exciting new pain treatments with advanced regenerative medicine, non-surgical alternatives. So if you're living with joint pain from injury or arthritis, don't let them tell you steroids and pain meds and surgery are your only options. QC Kinetics uses regenerative treatments that can restore and repair damaged tissue. Maybe you've been diagnosed with bone-on-bone arthritis and been told you need a replacement. Call QC Kinetics now for an alternative way to deal with the pain. These amazing protocols work with pain caused by injury as well, like a torn meniscus or rotator cuff. Call QC Kinetics now. Don't keep living with the pain. Learn how regenerative medicine can give you your life back with no drugs and no surgery. Call QC Kinetics for a free consultation, 270-974-4500, 270-974-4500. That's QC Kinetics, 270-974-4500.
One thing's for sure, seasons do change. We might not be able to predict the date of the next cold snap, but at Southern States in business since 1923, we've seen some patterns. We're ready to fill your tanks and make sure you won't be chilled out by the seasonal changes. Southern States is ready to help you with seed and fertilizer for your pastures and your home lawns. We just love helping our customers prepare for the next season. We're Southern States, 300 Sampson Street in Glasgow. In the WCLU Forecast Center today, looking for a whole lot of sunshine. We'll climb to 73 for the high. With a crystal clear night tonight, we'll drop to 43 for the low. On Tuesday, sunshine at 73. Tuesday night, a clear night, dropping down to 42. And a sunny day on Wednesday, we'll climb to 76 degrees for the high. And that's your forecast here from WCLU. We are your home for local. 53 degrees now on WCLU.
From the dawning of creation, all the saints of every nation who have lived on this earth and are gone shall awaken from their slumber, rise to join that countless number on that great resurrection morn. We shall rise, we shall rise, we shall rise, we shall rise, glory light will our brows adore. We shall rise, we shall rise, we shall rise, we shall rise on that great resurrection morn. Those who've left us vacant places will be there with smiling faces, and our hearts there again will be torn. That will be a happy meeting, all our loved ones will be greeting on that great resurrection morn. We shall rise, we shall rise, we shall rise, we shall rise, glory light will our brows adore. We shall rise, we shall rise, we shall rise, we shall rise on that great resurrection morn. We shall rise, we shall rise, we shall rise, we shall rise, glory light will our brows adore. We shall rise, we shall rise, we shall rise, on that great resurrection morn, resurrection morn.
We shall rise. The inspirations on Southern Gold here at WCLU. Good morning to you folks. Thank you for listening in. We have gospel music till the top of the hour. Here's another great song from Charles Johnson and the Revivers.
Living below in this old sinful world, hardly a comfort can afford. Striving alone to face temptation's sword. Where could I go but to the Lord? Fellas, will you tell me, where could I go? Tell me, where could I go when I am seeking a refuge for my soul? When I am needing a friend that's able to save me in the end, where could I go but to the Lord? Neighbors are kind, I love them, everyone. We all get along in sweet accord. But when my soul needs manna from above, where could I go but to the Lord? I need for you to tell me, where could I go? Tell me, where could I go when I am seeking a refuge for my soul? When I am needing a friend that's able to save me in the end, tell me, where could I go but to the Lord? Life here is grand with friends I love so dear. Comfort I get from God's own word. Yet when I face the chilling hand of death, where could I go but to the Lord? Tell me why.
This is your home for Glasgow's best variety. WCLU Glasgow. W276DO Glasgow. WCLU.
This
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Eggland's Best.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. Reality is setting in for Floridians whose homes were swamped by Hurricane Ian. Among them, Betty Reynolds, who lives on hard-hit Sanibel Island.
It came up about 4 feet in the house. So I've been living upstairs.
Correspondent Chris Van Cleve is in Sarasota.
Some neighbors here told us they're not even sure if it's worth trying to rebuild. Firefighters couldn't get out here because it was so dangerous. And we talked to many residents on this block who thought they could ride out the storm at home, only to find themselves literally running for their lives to escape Ian's storm surge.
At least 86 people were killed in the hurricane. President Biden will survey the damage in Florida Wednesday. Today, he'll be in Puerto Rico, offering support after Hurricane Fiona. White House correspondent Stephen Portnoy.
The trip will have the President and First Lady helping to pack food and other supplies, attending a briefing on the response, and announcing that $60 million will go to help shore up the island's levees, strengthen flood walls, and develop a new flood warning system. The funds will come from the bipartisan infrastructure law the President signed last year.
The President defending a prisoner swap with Venezuela that freed 7 Americans and 2 convicted South American drug smugglers with ties to dictator Nicolas Maduro. CBS's Nancy Cordes.
President Biden said this is part of his, quote, administration's unflinching commitment to keep faith with Americans held hostage and wrongfully detained around the world.
A police chief in Indonesia lost his job today after a stampede at a soccer game that killed at least 125 people, including 32 children. Correspondent Vicky Barker is at the foreign desk.
Soccer's world governing body, FIFA, says this never should have happened. Police firing tear gas at fans who'd stormed the field, sparking a stampede inside the overcrowded stadium as thousands of coughing, choking spectators all rushed to the exits at once.
The Supreme Court has just begun a new term by declining to hear a challenge to a federal vaccine mandate for healthcare workers. Ketanji Brown Jackson is now the first black woman on the bench. A reality TV star will pony up for violating SEC law.
I do understand why people were upset.
Kim Kardashian has agreed to pay $1.26 million for failing to disclose a $250,000 fee she received for promoting cryptocurrency on her Instagram account. She's banned from Emacs or any other token for 3 years. In a statement, Kardashian says she's cooperated with the investigation from the beginning and hopes to move forward with all of her other business pursuits. This is CBS News.
Eggland's Best. The only eggs with more fresh and delicious taste, plus superior nutrition, because the way we care is anything but ordinary. Only Eggland's Best.
I'm Dr. Stork. Why give your family just ordinary eggs when they can enjoy the best? Eggland's Best. The only eggs with more fresh and delicious taste, plus superior nutrition compared to ordinary eggs. With 6 times more vitamin D, 10 times more vitamin E, 25% less saturated fat, and 38% more lutein. Because the way we care is anything but ordinary. Only Eggland's Best. Better taste, better nutrition, better eggs.
Research shows listeners prefer a personalized experience. So to help you remember, Liberty Mutual customizes your home insurance. We personalized this ad for Amber, who really misses boy bands from the 90s.
Hey girl, I'm the cute one, here to tell you how Liberty Mutual customizes your home insurance so you only pay for what you need.
I'm the heartthrob. The only thing I love more than you is saving. And I'm the other boy in the band everyone forgot about.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
It's the final week of baseball's regular season.
The Braves have control in the National League East after sweeping the fading Mets.
Matt Olson, right field, hit it well. It's gone. Another home run for the Braves.
A 5-3 win on ESPN, a 2-game lead for Atlanta with 3 to play for each team. The second-place finisher will play in the new wild card, best-of-3 round. The Phillies have a 2-game edge on the Brewers for the final NL playoff spot. In the American League, the Yankees have 4 games left with the Rangers as Aaron Judge looks to hit his 62nd home run. Steve Kathan, CBS News.
Albert Pujols catches up to the base.
Albert lifts it in the air out to center. Going back, Reynolds at the wall. He's done it.
Card superstar on Bally Sports making baseball history at his last regular season game in St. Louis, tying Babe Ruth for second on the all-time RBI list. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
Did you know there's a conservative advocacy and benefits organization with over 2 million members and counting? It's AMAC, the Association of Mature American Citizens. Here are 3 reasons why you should consider joining AMAC right now. First, AMAC saves you money. From discounts on travel and lodging, cell phones and plans, access to insurance products, and more. Joining AMAC is a powerful tool against inflation. Second, with a bi-monthly magazine, daily website content, podcasts with America's thought leaders, and an app that delivers insightful coverage of the issues that matter most, AMAC is a trusted source of information. And third, the reason that people say is their favorite is that AMAC fights for your conservative values on Capitol Hill. With more than 2 million members, AMAC is a voice that cannot be ignored, working tirelessly to preserve the freedom secured by our Constitution. Go to amac.us/liberty and join today. That's amac.us/liberty. amac.us/liberty.
1490 WCLU is proud to bring Southern Kentucky the Big Blue Nation. It's the Kentucky Sports Radio Show with your host, Matt Jones.
This is Kentucky Sports Radio presented by Stockton Mortgage. Now, here's Matt Jones.
Welcome, everyone. Kentucky Sports Radio, Monday, October the 3rd. I am Matt Jones here on a beautiful day in Oxford, Mississippi, where I remain even after the loss on Saturday. Heading back after the show. You can give us a shout on the Clark's Puppet Shop phone line, 502-571-1080. A-Vision Auto Glass text machine is 772-774-5254 in this edition. Sponsored by the T.J. Smith Law Office. If you call T.J., he's a personal injury lawyer, and he'll make them pay. Ryan is in the studio in Lexington. Shannon is in Louisville. Guys, it was it's one of those what might have been games for Kentucky. A game where I think I'm not going to say dominated, but they were the better team, I think, for the last 3 quarters. First quarter, they did get dominated, but the second, third, and fourth quarter, I think they were the better team, had a lot of chances. You could probably point to 5 or 6 things during the course of the game and say, if they don't call the penalty, if Berrien Brown breaks those 2 things, he got brought down both plays right inside the red zone. If he takes it to the house on those, we probably win. If Derek Jackson gets a little quicker and gets the interception and it's a pick 6 instead of a broken up pass, there's a lot of stuff you could look at and say we were just 1 little inch away from winning. But Ryan, as it was, they take a very difficult loss.
Yeah, man, that was a gut punch. I mean, the highs and lows of that game, and I think most Big Blue Nation, including myself, we're not mad, but we're like hurt. Not like St. Peter's hurt, or not like losing to Wisconsin in the Final Four hurt. But man, that was a hurtful gut punch right to the headbutt to the head, the punch in the gut, and the kick in the crotch, like all at once.
All right, that was a little explicit, Shannon, from what I needed. He just finds words that I didn't need to hear crotch a minute into the show, and there's something about the way it comes off of his tongue that also I think. But for me, I don't think you're wrong though, Ryan. I mean, I think the games to me that are always the worst are the ones where you lost it yourself. You know what I mean? Or it was right there for the taking, and you messed up. I mean, you look at it and you go, okay. I mean, I just gave you 3 or 4 easy things. That doesn't even count the 2 fumbles by Will, right? I mean, if those 2 fumbles by Will, if any of those are not fumbles, I think Kentucky wins. I don't blame him for the first one. He got hit in the head. Whether that's targeting or not, I think it probably is. I will say, I don't know. Did you guys in real time? So watching the play, I didn't think targeting at all. When I saw the replay, clearly I did. But did either of you think it in the moment? I think it was one of those things that didn't seem to show up live, but showed up when you watched it again.
I didn't think it in real time, but then when we went back to the replay, I thought, okay, that's got to be targeting. Then they say no targeting, and now I'm questioning, do I even know what targeting is? Because
they didn't say no targeting. I'm not sure they even looked at it. Right? Like, I mean, I think it wasn't. This was not. I think if the replay official had looked at it, I think they would have found targeting. I got the sense, Ryan, that they didn't even look at it because, in the pros, the people upstairs are always looking for it and call down. In college, I didn't know what the rule was. Billy found a rule on the postgame show that seemed to suggest that the college replay official can do the same thing, although it wasn't 100% clear. But, Ryan, I'm not even sure it got a review. Do you?
No. And Billy's right. I had a college official contact me. He goes, yes, that upstairs official, they can review it kind of on their own like they do in the NFL. They have that right. But I agree with you guys. In Lifetime, did not think it was. Excuse me. But then once you see it in excuse me.
He's still sick.
Just hit the cough button. No one wants to hear that.
I have no idea where the cough button is.
It's that big, huge button.
Hang on. Billy's looking for it.
Okay.
We'll find it somewhere.
Right. Well, see if you can find it. Anyway, nice start. But
I have a question for you.
Yes.
And I seriously, I don't know the answer.
Okay.
If they would have called targeting, he went on to fumble. Would Ole Miss still have had the ball? Just like a 15-yard penalty?
First down, for half the distance to the goal. Because he had the ball when he. I mean, if that were the case, you would always target. If you could target and still get the ball, you'd just do it. And then that way you got the ball and then take the penalty, right? No, he still would have gotten, if they had called it, it would have been our ball, first and goal, half the distance from the foul. So we would have been first and goal on the 4.
Man, that hurt.
Yeah. But still, I guess my point is, not seeing it in real time, I can't be outraged by it because I'm not sure anybody thought it happened in the moment. So you get to the second one, a lot of stuff had to go wrong there. First of all, they had to have had the penalty on first down. And, of course, as Shannon and I were talking about, if Dane Key catches that and it's real, Shannon, we could not have gotten him to shut up.
No.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it would have been the Ryan Lemon show today.
This would have been just Ryan Lemon.
Yeah.
Dane Key would have been like top 10 play on SportsCenter.
Yeah, number 1 play on SportsCenter.
It would have been, well, the Liberty catch was pretty good, but it would have been up there. But, I think, Ryan, that was a cheap call. I'm not saying Barion Brown wasn't set. If you watch it, there's probably a half second where he's not quite set. But to me, that's a cheap call. The play doesn't go to him. It's really close. It's not like he wasn't set at all. He was getting set. Will should have waited. That's on Will. With that said, though, Ryan, to me, that's a cheap call. I mean, I know it's technically right, but they didn't have to call that, but they did. And so what are you going to do?
Yeah, I know it. And, there was an argument online. People were arguing, well, couldn't he be in movement anyway, being the guy in the slot?
Yeah, I just don't know the rule of that.
I don't either.
I don't know. I mean, maybe he could have, at which point it's even worse call. I don't know. I mean, I just don't know that rule. As far as the actual fumble, it's a tough slot. Okay, so Jeremy Flax gets hurt. So they put in the Wally kid, right?
Just another unfortunate thing that happened.
Yeah, it's just bad luck, right? He gets an injury, he gets cramps or whatever it was, right? He's out. They put this kid in. It's only his second play, and he gets beat. Now, with that said, Stoops acknowledged on the postgame, Will was already supposed to have let go of the ball. Like he held it just a little bit too long. So 2 fumbles inside the 20. They're both kind of on Will. The second one maybe to me more so than the first one. But if Flax is in there, he'd have had another half second and it wouldn't have mattered. I mean, it's just one of those things. It felt like there were so many close things that if they just go the other way, you win.
Yeah, we had dinner last night. And Dane came over and I asked him, despite your touchdown, what do you think was the biggest play of the game? And he said one we haven't even talked about yet.
What was that?
He said the pass with Chris Rodriguez coming out of the backfield and the kid jumped over him and knocked it down on 4th down.
That was a great play.
It was an unbelievable play, but he said he felt like that was probably the biggest play
That was
of the game.
Big one. But, I mean, we got the ball twice after that. That was the 4th down. I mean, we were inside the 40 3 times to end the game and got 0 points.
0 points. And our defense had been playing lights out, kept them out of the end zone.
Great. Defense played great. I mean, they played poorly at the beginning. They scored, was it on 2 of their first 3 drives?
Yeah.
But then after that, the defense was great. Yeah, that 4th down. I also think another play we're not even bringing up is Smoke dropping the little screen. That's a touchdown if he catches it, right? I mean, he was completely clear to run in, just drops it. And then, of course, there's the missed kicks. Now, there are people who have said, Ryan, that, they missed 2 extra points and a field goal. If you make those, that's 5 points and you win. First of all, we needed to make those. They hurt us. But I don't think we would have won necessarily with that because, Ryan, Ole Miss on that 4th down would have just kicked a field goal. You see what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
If we were up 2, they would have just kicked a field goal there instead of going for it on 4th down, and then they'd have been up 1. Now, with that said, when Berrien broke that, we could have just waited for a field goal, but I'm not sure if we would have since our kicker had missed 2 extra points and a field goal before that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they had that chance to either go for it on 4th down or trot Ruffalo out there for a long one. They opted to go try to get it because we've been having troubles.
But I even mean on the 2 fumble attempts. You know what I mean? Like there are people who would say, okay, but you would have been setting up for a field goal. That may be true, but I think they might have been hesitant to do that with the problems they'd had in the kicking game.
Yeah, I can't wait to talk to Max because that's his thing.
He was not a happy camper.
I bet not.
I mean, and listen, the thing about Max is he'll put it on who he puts it on, right?
Yeah.
And, I mean, he believed that. I mean, I talked to him about it. He actually put the snap mistake on the holder because he said while it wasn't a great snap, they should have gotten that off and gotten it down. And then he was very down on Ruffalo for the miss.
And this is now a thing too. I mean, this is not the first game this has happened.
Yeah, they went to the backup snapper. I don't know if you noticed that.
Right.
The rest of the game, Ryan, it was that Perry kid was the backup longs, and they went to him for the rest of the game.
You know, most of us never know the name of the long snapper. We're going to know him now because, like Shannon said, this has been a recurring problem.
It's been an issue, yeah. So, I mean, you know, I was a little surprised, Ryan, at the postgame show. I mean, online, it's the same thing every time you lose. But I was surprised at the negativity, and especially the negativity towards Will. Because there's no doubt those 2 mistakes were on Will. No doubt. 3 if you count not letting Berrien get set. Stoops said after the game, Will was in a hurry, and he thinks that caused a couple of those problems. I mean, we had 50 seconds. We didn't have any timeouts, but we're passing every down anyway, so it's not a big deal. And he thought Will was in a little bit of a hurry. But I mean, you know, my post-game show, Ryan, did you hear it by any chance?
I'm sorry. I couldn't listen to it. I haven't watched any football since then.
You don't have to apologize. I mean, you can do whatever you want. But the calls were kind of like, I don't think Will's a first-round pick. And whether you think that or not is a different conversation, but it's just so weird. We have had years where the last few years our team's been really good and our quarterbacks have been fine, but they haven't been great. And we've said, man, if our quarterback was a little bit better. Well, now we have a really good quarterback, and it's just weird to me to hear people be down on him to the level they are. I mean, if you want to say those mistakes are on him, I think that's correct. Will Levis even said, put the game on me. But then to just act like the kid is not good, I just don't understand that. Do you?
Dude, no. What is he now? 14-4 as our starting quarterback.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
That's pretty good right there. Yes, he did make some mistakes, and I think maybe one thing. See what you think about this. The one thing that why they are so frustrated at him is they are a mistake that a veteran quarterback probably shouldn't have made. You know, knows to get rid of the ball a little quicker. That safety in the end zone. You know, he held it too long.
Safety in the end zone was definitely a mistake. Yes, I mean, they're mistakes. Yeah. But, like, Jimmy Garoppolo ran out of the back of the end zone, Shannon, and I mean, you know, people make mistakes. I mean, you can point out the mistakes, be frustrated at the mistakes, but when people go, well, man, I mean, I don't even know how anybody could think he's a first-round pick. Well, I don't even understand how you could say that. These people who this is their job think it. And I can tell you this, whether he is or isn't the first quarterback taken, it ain't going to be because he fumbled the ball against Ole Miss.
Correct.
Because they will look at that and say, we'll fix that. But what we can't fix, you know, his 2 best passes, Ryan, were both not caught. That long pass to Berrien and the long pass to Dane that were both on their fingertips. And by the way, I think both those kids, Ryan, will make that catch next year. You know what I mean? They're freshmen. If they're sophomores, I bet they make that catch. But those passes, those are the passes they're going to look at and go, there ain't many guys who can throw that. That pass to Berrien Brown's one of the best passes I've ever seen that didn't get caught. Because it was
laid it right where it needed to be.
55 yards on his fingertips in a place that, like, it had to be in one spot and it hit it. It felt like in the frustration of losing, that a handful of our fans just were like, I didn't get it. I really didn't understand it.
He made some mistakes, but I still want that dude to be my quarterback. I still believe in him 100%. But we're talking about, I did enjoy your little interaction with Danny Cannell
about Will Levis.
Well, I don't know if I should have said that, Shannon, but I did.
Made me feel better to read it.
Here's the thing. Danny Kanell is just one of these, just say crazy stuff guys. You know what I mean, Shannon?
Yeah.
Those dudes.
Yeah.
And so he said something like, everybody needs to pump the brakes on Will Levis. Too much hype, blah, 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 blah. And I retweeted and said, yeah, we'd hate for him to end up with Danny Kanell's NFL. I mean, that's a little mean. Normally, I don't say things like that, but it's just him. He's just like and I think it upset him. He responded to me 4 times over the course of the
he did?
Yeah, I didn't respond again because, I was trying to have fun. 502-571-1080. The text machine is 772-774-5254. What did you think about the game? I want to talk about the presence of UK fans in Oxford because it was unbelievable. And we'll talk about that, more about the game when we return. This is KSR.
To talk to Matt Jones and the crew, call the Clark's Pump and Shop phone line at 502-571-1080 or 1-877-904-1080, or send us the Kentucky branded KSR tweet of the day by tweeting Matt at KY Sports Radio.
I'm TJ Smith, and I'm a personal injury lawyer. I'm happy to be part of Big Blue Nation and sponsor KSR. I'm one of you. At the TJ Smith Law Office, we're into personal service. I'm the one you talk to, and I'm the one that handles your case. We're local, and we're in the state of Kentucky, and we cover all 120 counties. If you're looking for straight talk, I'm the guy to talk to. I'll give you a fair and honest evaluation of every claim.
Call TJ. He'll make them pay. His personal cell phone number is 502-262-1716.
Did you know that of the 1,000 people in Kentucky awaiting a life-saving organ transplant, 625 of them are men, and yet we're the least likely to register as organ donors? Put the do in donor. Visit donatelifeky.org.
Looking for a new career? Kentucky Farm Bureau Insurance is contracting agent statewide. As a sales agent with KFB Insurance, you'll start with an established book of business and enjoy unlimited income potential. Apply today at kfbcareers.com.
All of us love sports, but not all sports are created equal. College sports have big budgets, dedicated alumni networks, and corporate sponsorships. Professional sports have even deeper pockets, millionaire owners, lucrative TV and radio deals, and merchandise sales. High school sports have you. Everyone agrees high school sports give us plenty of reasons to cheer. And now's a great time for us to give back. Supporting your hometown high school won't cost you much, but it will go a long way to ensuring the games we love the most are here to stay. Kentucky High School Sports. They're good for our kids, good for our community, and best of all, they're good for you.
This message presented by the Kentucky High School Athletic Association and the Kentucky High School Athletic Directors Association.
What's your favorite high school sports memory? A late inning rally? A game-winning shot? A photo finish? Maybe it's a pep rally or a pregame ritual. Maybe it's the euphoria of a late-night bus ride home after a hard-fought win. Maybe it's having pizza with teammates after the game. Now, imagine if it never happened at all. School sports need your help. With budgets getting tighter, it's more than the games that are on the line. It's all the traditions, the community pride, the culture of your hometown high school. Plus, all those memories that are on the line, too. What can you do? It's simple. Buy a ticket when you can. Go to a game. Take the whole family. Let's do everything we can to keep those cherished school sports memories alive.
This message presented by the Kentucky High School Athletic Association and the Kentucky High School Athletic Directors Association.
I think the last 3 quarters, which was the majority of the game, we were better.
We were the better team, and that's what kind of hurts. But I'm with you. We didn't deserve to win because we made the mistakes.
We didn't deserve to win. We lost. No. I mean, we made those mistakes. But
now you can't let them beat you twice. You got to get back on your feet this week for South Carolina and not have this hangover. And you got some guys who are going to miss the game.
That's the key. Now, who's missing the game?
Well, I think Stoops will probably talk about it here in a little bit. There's a couple guys that aren't going to be ready, I don't think.
We got some scoop.
Well, I mean, so why don't you let us know?
Well, J.J. Weaver will be back.
Okay, that's good news.
I feel confident saying in that. Okay. But there will be a linebacker that's going to be out for a long time.
Oh, man.
Who's that?
Well, there has to be Jones, right? Like, who else is it going to be? You know?
Yeah. Yeah, there's a chance he might
Like,
be
he
able to
just
make-
won't say his name, Shannon.
Yeah.
Like, he says a linebacker. We
Yeah.
know the linebacker that got hurt.
Right.
So why don't you just say his name? Just say it's the same last name as someone on this show.
Well, we don't have a Rutledge linebacker.
Exactly. So then you're saying it.
But I think they're thinking maybe he might make it back by the end of the year, but he's going to be out for a while. And I think Flax is going to be out for a while. I think he's got a hamstring tear. Like maybe he might. I think he's 50-50 maybe for the game.
Okay, well, now that would be really bad. I think you can make up for Jones. If they lose Flax, don't you agree? That's a tough one for him.
Smoke has a concussion, I think, so I don't know if he's going to be able
Listen to this. He wouldn't say any of this. Now
all kinds of stuff.
Now he's just leaking info.
We want you to say everything you know right now. Go ahead.
Well, he could be 50-50 too.
Well, they should. After all that's happened, we need to not rush that.
Yeah.
And he's a backup. I mean, listen, I like Smoke. I think he's a good back, but we don't have to have him. You know what I mean? Like, we can. I actually thought, who was it? Was it McClain that played a lot there at the end? I actually thought he did a good job.
Yeah, made a big play on a pass catch out of the backfield.
Yeah, so he cracks me up. You know what I mean? Like, he doesn't want to say anything.
He's sitting on so much information that he doesn't want to share with us.
So did you give us all of it? I mean, that's a lot.
I think so, yeah.
Well, of those, Flax is the one I'm worried the most about. I mean, Jones is a great player, but that at least is the one position we have depth.
Right.
But Flax, doesn't that worry you? I mean, like, we saw what happened. As soon as they bring somebody else in, Will gets hit.
100%. And, I heard some people online screaming they should have put in Conte Goodwin, but, man, he's not ready yet, dude. You can't throw him out there in a big play like that against Ole Miss. So I don't know where they go with the line. There's not the depth there anymore, so I don't know.
Yeah, the key thing, though, you hit it. You can't turn one loss into two.
Yep.
And we've had that happen in the past.
Yes.
And we can't have that happen again because, well, you just can't. One person writes, I don't know, Matt, how you can't say Will lost a lot of money. Because he didn't. Because the mistakes he made are mistakes the NFL thinks they can correct. I mean, I go back to Josh Allen. I'm not saying he's Josh Allen. I'm not even saying he's going to be a great NFL quarterback. But Josh Allen went 7-5 at Wyoming. And I stayed up and watched a bunch of those games. And he looked good at times, but he looked bad at times. But they picked him because they knew what he could be. They're not sitting there going, well, Shannon, we'd pick him, but he fumbled against Ole Miss.
Yeah.
So, that's it. I mean, forget that. Here's what they look at. They look at that throw to Barian Brown and say, an NFL receiver would have caught that, and there ain't nobody else in college football except C.J. Stroud who can even throw that pass. And, Ryan, that's why he will be picked. I still think he'll be the first quarterback picked. Maybe he's second, maybe he's third. But if he's not the third, one of the top three quarterbacks picked, I'll be shocked. And I still would bet on him being the first one when all is said and done.
And there's still a lot of football left, man. I've been saying it for weeks. I don't think we've seen the best of him yet, and I think it's coming. I think he's going to show us all why NFL scouts love him.
Now, listen, if he has 5 straight bad games, maybe that'll be different. But they are not going to make a decision based on – I said he made money against Florida. The reason was they knew 2 quarterbacks were going to be in the top. And the question was, who's the third, Levis or Richardson? And then after that game, you knew. But now he's in that group, and I think it's going to take some really poor play for him not to be in it. Who's up first, Shannon?
Let's go to Nathan.
Nathan, what's up, Nathan?
Hey, how's it going?
What's going on?
Is it just me, or does it feel like Will Levis isn't taking off? Like, when pressure comes, he's not getting those extra 5 or 6 yards. When pressure comes, he's kind of
not running as much. I don't think there's any doubt. But maybe it's in part because when he does, he fumbles it at that one time. But you're right. Last year, he would in those scenarios run a lot more. But I appreciate the call. Maybe it's, though, in part, Ryan, because last year if he couldn't get Wan'Dale, he didn't trust any other receivers, and now he's got at least 3 that he does trust.
Yeah. Well, what about, that play where he got hit and fumbled? That obviously a designed run for him, but you only needed 2 yards, and you got Chris Rodriguez right there behind you.
Well, it was an RPO. If you watch the play, the linebacker that he's watching and the end he's watching go with Chris. So that's why I think he ran it.
He pulled it
now,
and ran.
Chris might have still gotten it, but I think that's why he ran it. And it was open, Ryan. He got the first down. He just fumbled. We'll be right back.
Paid for by Bar Justice. Attention. Have you or a loved one been diagnosed with cancer after using Zantac or other heartburn medications for several months? Zantac may be linked to these cancers: bladder, colorectal, esophageal, intestinal, kidney, liver, ovarian, pancreatic, stomach, testicular, and uterine. If you or a loved one have been diagnosed with cancer after using Zantac or other heartburn medications for several months, call now. Never stop taking medication without first consulting a physician. Call right now for a free consultation. Call 800-379-9550. 800-379-9550.
The new iPhone 14 Pro is here with Apple's most advanced smartphone display ever, and the place to get it is at T-Mobile. Now you can take your iPhone beyond with coverage that goes beyond.
You're really having fun over there. Have you been streaming Ted Lasso this whole time?
Yeah, I got the new iPhone 14 Pro at T-Mobile, and Apple TV Plus is included with our plan. It has an amazing display, so all the shows look fantastic.
Nice, but we're almost to the airport. You better download the rest of it.
No need. T-Mobile's got me covered with unlimited in-flight Wi-Fi, so I can stream all flight long. I'm catching up on the morning show next.
I'm going to make a quick stop.
Wait, where are we going?
I'm going to T-Mobile.
With nationwide coverage, the new iPhone 14 Pro on us with eligible trade-in on the Magenta Max plan and Apple TV Plus included, you'll take your iPhone experience beyond. Only at T-Mobile.
With 24 monthly bill credits plus tax for well-qualified customers. Contact us before canceling service to continue remaining bill credits or credit stop and balance on required finance agreement is due. Apple TV Plus on us up to $4.99 value. In-flight Wi-Fi on select U.S. airlines were available. See T-Mobile.com for details.
Paid for by Christian Care Ministry.
Let's see, if something costs less, but people are happier with it, that sounds like something to look into, and that's Medi-Share. Maybe you've heard switching to Medi-Share to pay for healthcare can save the typical family $500 a month. And that's huge, but it's also true that people are way more satisfied after making the switch, too. The customer satisfaction rate for Medi-Share is double that of the typical health insurance plan. Double. Medi-Share works. It's been around for more than a quarter century, and members have shared more than $3 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth and a huge nationwide PPO network. So, yeah, you can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care. So if you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan you're happy with, you can call right now and get a price within 2 minutes. A very, very smart use of 2 minutes. Here's the number you need. 844-53-BIBLE. That's 844-53-BIBLE. 844-53-BIBLE.
Guys, are you getting up multiple times a night to use the bathroom? As we get older, so do our prostates, and that can mean urinary problems that affect our sleep and quality of life. Life is better outside the bathroom. Real Health's Prostate Complete can help you relieve those annoying and painful prostate symptoms. Available at Walmart or visit realhealth.com for more information and to order yours today. Try it risk-free with our 120-day money-back guarantee. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, or cure any disease.
Don't blame it on me. Don't blame it on me. Blame it on the night.
Now, more Kentucky Sports Radio presented by Stockton Mortgage. Here's Matt Jones.
Welcome back, Kentucky Sports Radio. I want to go back, 502-571-1080. A lot of people are talking about what you said there about the Rodriguez thing. You go back and you look at that play. I mean, in hindsight, it's easy to go hand it to Rodriguez. But I do think it's important to note, Ryan, he got the first down. Right, like he fumbled it, and you could argue maybe instead of diving head first, he should have fallen down or whatever. But, I mean, the read was correct. He got the first down. So, now Rodriguez may have as well, but if you go back and look, there were guys there. Rodriguez easily could have still gotten it. He's that good. But I actually think if you look at that play, Ryan, he did the right thing.
And I guess there is, Chris has been prone to fumbles. At least he was last year.
Yeah, that's another thing. People forget that was the criticism of him last year.
Yeah.
Remember how often he fumbled the ball? I mean, he fumbled a lot. So,
I just felt like at that moment, Kentucky had the game won. I just feel like.
Well, I did too. Don't get me wrong. I did too. But he fumbled it. But he got the first down, which was the whole point. It was fourth down, right?
Yeah. Just trying fourth and two.
Third and two.
Third and two.
Third and two. And he got the first down. So I don't, you just hope that in the future he would not, he would not fumble it. One person writes, Matt, Will Levis had a chance to make himself money, and he just fell a little short. but that's not how they do this. Again, I mean, I'm not trying to be Matt know-it-all. I'm just telling you, I've had enough conversations with these people. I have to do all this NFL draft prep work for ESPN. They don't care about that. What Todd McShay said is the best analysis. He said this week. Wherever Will ends up on the draft boards at the end of the season, that's his floor. Because when he goes to these tests, Ryan, and they say he's got the best arm and he's a great leader and he's the strongest, he'll just rise. So I'm not worried about it. What I want us to do is win games while he's here, because I think we're going to look back and say that's one of the best ones we've ever had here.
No doubt. That's why I really believe in my heart of hearts we're going to see it by the end of the year. We've seen glimpses of it, but I just hasn't got his best game there yet. So good time's still coming.
Have you gotten the sense, Ryan, that the morale on the team remains high? The reason I ask that is Max said after the game that when you lose a game like this, it can go two different ways. You can see people sort of shift into gear and go, all right, that ain't happening again. Or it can get people down and say, oh, what do we have to play for? Have you gotten a sense of that?
No, I don't, but that's exactly what you and I were just talking about. You can't let Ole Miss beat you twice now. So Stoops has been pretty good, it seems like, since he's been here, of preventing that from happening, because it does carry over sometimes in the locker room when you lose a game like that. You're like, oh, man, what are we doing, you know?
And you have an opponent Saturday that you're better than.
Yes.
I mean, you are better than South Carolina. I'm glad it's not Mississippi State next week. I'm glad we have a week in between those, because Mississippi State looks better than we thought. And so, you know, you can't lose Saturday night.
No.
By the way, before we go back to phones, our fans, what a showing down here. I mean, I would say, Ryan, 25% of the crowd was Kentucky fans. You know, it drowned out a little bit because they did that stripe thing, and the Ole Miss blue and the Kentucky blue could kind of bleed together. And so it was smart on their part, because the Kentucky sections, Shannon, they made blue so you couldn't necessarily tell whether it was Ole Miss. But there were a lot of Kentucky fans here.
You can hear them like over the broadcast doing the CATS chant there on that last drive especially. So, yeah.
I could easily see that. I mean, I talked to somebody down here, an Ole Miss media member, who said the only school he's seen that consistently brings more people than we had is LSU. And Ryan, there were fans here everywhere. It was an amazing Kentucky turnout.
Yeah, I think we see that fans have been planning that trip for a year since the schedule came out this time last year. You know, we haven't been to Ole Miss in, 12 years? So people were like wanting to go. And we kept getting these pictures on the pregame stuff. People tailgating, people walking in, people in Beale Street in Memphis the night before. So I knew there was going to be a huge crowd down there.
So, Shannon, there's this the way have you ever been to Oxford, Shannon?
I haven't.
The way Oxford is laid out is there's a town square, right? Which a lot of towns in Kentucky have, you know, with the courthouse in the center or whatever. But they're all bars and restaurants around it. And on Friday and Saturday night, there are thousands of people in that square going to bars and stuff. So I was out there with a bunch, with Drew and Max and Miles Butler and all these people. And there's this bar people said you have to go to called the Library. All right?
Sounds like a place you would like.
Exactly. I could have gone in there and read.
Yeah.
We get in line, and there's a sign on the door, and it says cover $100.
Oh,
$100.
$100. And I thought, Shannon, well, that has to be a joke.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I thought it was almost like a wink and a nod. Like, oh, you got to pay $100 to come to the library.
Right.
No. It was $100.
I mean,
and I was like,
AC/DC playing in there, or what's going on?
And I said, I'm not doing that. And they were like, you've got the money. I said, I don't care.
It's the principle. It's the point.
I'm not paying $100 to walk into a dinky college bar.
Yep.
And they did. Well, they all did. And I was like, I'm going home.
And okay, what was so great about it that it was worth $100?
I don't know.
Was DJ Pauly Shore there?
DJ Pauly Shore. I think you meant Pauly D. But DJ Pauly Shore would be good too.
Yeah.
I didn't go in. I just went back to the house because I'm like, I am not paying $100 to walk. Can you think of any bar you would pay $100 just to go in?
No, unless there's a band that I'm wanting to see that's like a really top tier band. No.
And drinks are on the house all night.
Yeah, open bar. Okay, I get it. Yeah. If it's something like that, but no, not just to walk in a concert.
$100. And guess what? The place was packed to the rafters. And
I
The girl in front of us in line, I was like, is this really $100? She goes, yeah, but I have a card. It's called a library card. And I said, oh, okay. And she goes, it's $500 for the year.
Oh, what a deal.
$500 for the year. Would you pay for that?
No. I'm not paying $500 to walk in a door.
For a year.
Like, what happens in there that it makes it so great that it's worth that?
I don't know.
Well, I mean, you got buddies who did. What was their review on the place?
I mean, they were just like, well, it's a bar.
Oh, see, it's a bunch of idiots, I guess. Paying. Sorry,
Ryan,
Drew.
would you pay $500 for a year to go to your favorite place in Lexington?
No, I get mad when we're down in Nashville and every bar is $20 cover,
Me
$25
too.
cover.
Hey, if it's more than $5, I'm not walking in.
Me neither.
A lot of times if it's $5, I'm like, I'm not going in there.
Well, now imagine $100 or $500 for the year.
Wow. No chance.
Unbelievable. Who's next?
Let's go to Brandon.
Brandon, what's up, Brandon?
What's up, guys? How are y'all?
Doing good.
Hey, listen, a few things. As fans, you cannot be mad whenever Will Levis runs the ball because you've got to take the good with the bad. I don't hear one person say one negative thing last year when he hurdled Louisville and made a 35-yard break on a run. So nobody wants to say anything then. You can't say anything whenever, you got to take the bad with the good. Secondly, I don't put that fumble on Will. I'm kind of like y'all. I think they missed a targeting call, one that I didn't even see until they showed the replay. But I do think that there was a targeting call missed there. And, lastly, the only thing that I could even put on Levis besides the safety is kind of like you of just not letting the line get set. It was close, but you as a QB1, you've got to let everyone get set when you're inside the 10. Appreciate it.
Yeah, and Stoops said that after the game. Stoops said he felt like everyone, including Levis, was in a hurry at the end. And he was like, look, we had 50 seconds. You know what I mean? We didn't have to hurry. Now, some people said on the postgame show, why didn't we run the ball first? And I get that, Ryan, but here's the problem. Let's say on first down, you run the ball instead of throwing. You don't have any timeouts. So you can't get up and spike it, which means you're going to have to kind of be rushed. So if he doesn't score, you can get plays off, but you're going to be rushing on second down, and you might have a false start, which is what you had on first down. So I kind of understand why they were going to throw probably every down.
I think so, and I'm not just saying that because he's my guy, but especially when you got a guy like Dane, you can just throw it up there and let him go get it, make a play. He mossed that poor guy out there for Ole Miss.
Yeah, and the other thing about we should run, the pass worked. It's just we weren't set. You know what I mean? I mean, the pass on first down worked. It's just unfortunately, we weren't set. And I also would know that backed us up because we were on, I think, initially on the 3, right, Ryan? On the first, were we on the 3 or the 4?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Somewhere in there.
By the way, both times when Barian Brown broke it, I thought he was going to score both times. Yes. You know what I mean? He got angled. He didn't get caught. They got him with the angle, but both times I thought he was about to take it to the house. And by the way, both of the times he broke it, we didn't score either time, unfortunately.
Didn't he get tripped up by his own guy on one of those?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it.
Just a lot of bad breaks.
I know, man. Every one of them went against Kentucky. Every one of them.
That's right. Who's next?
Let's go to Christy.
Christy, how are you, Christy?
Hey, good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Watching the game, there are mistakes. Mistakes can be fixed. It's not all on one person. It's on everybody. It's why it's a team. And then watching the Kansas City's Tampa football game last night, only watched a few minutes of it. Both quarterbacks made almost identical mistakes that Levis did. And those are two top-notch quarterbacks that have won multiple Super Bowls. So I don't see why we – exactly. And the one caller at the postgame show that called and said you were riding Levis's coattails made my head explode.
I don't know where I'm riding him to because I don't think he's going to take me anywhere, Shannon. I mean, I think I'm going to be right here next year. So,
Take it to the NFL with him.
Yeah. Well, listen.
They're doing what they can. They're doing great, and I would much rather take a loss to Ole Miss than a loss to Florida.
I agree with that. I appreciate the call. And the other thing is, at the end of the day, Kentucky's goals are still on the table. Now you'd have to win out, which means you got to win in Knoxville, as opposed to winning here. But it's doable. You just got to do it. But I don't want to think that far ahead. We just got to make sure we beat South Carolina. We cannot turn one loss into two. That would be a backbreaker for the season. And that's what we have to make sure doesn't occur. You know, I know the past few years have been stressful for everybody. That's why you need Cornbread Hemp. Cornbread Hemp is Kentucky's #1 rated CBD company. It's everywhere. When I was in Denver, Shannon, I saw Cornbread Hemp. How about that?
Yeah, it's awesome.
They had other stuff there too, but that's what
That's the good stuff.
on because Cornbread Hemp is there. They have full spectrum flower only hemp CBD gummies. Use the code KSR at checkout. You get 30% off, and they'll give you your money back if you don't like it within 30 days. Go to cornbreadhemp.com. It's legal in Kentucky, and it's there for you for Cornbread Hemp. We will take a break. Be right back. It's KSR.
To talk to Matt Jones and the crew, call the Clark's Pump and Shop phone line at 502-571-1080 or 1-877-904-1080.
I pledge allegiance to the apple of the United States.
When you're hungry, it's hard to think about anything else. Provide elementary school children with food and success by becoming a program coordinator today. Visit blessingsinAbackpack.org for more information.
Kentucky has 80,000 miles of roadway. That's a lot of pavement. It's also a lot of looking out for your neighbor. Being a safe driver means yielding to pedestrians and cyclists, especially when turning, stopping for pedestrians at crosswalks, giving bikes safe distance, and always keeping your eyes on the road. Drive safe, Kentucky. A message from the Kentucky Office of Highway Safety.
America's leading internet provider just got even faster. Switch to Spectrum Internet, and you now get starting speeds of up to 300 megabits per second. Faster speeds for streaming, faster speeds for gaming, faster speeds for working or learning, all with 99.9% network reliability. So no matter what you do online, you can do it better, safer, and now even faster with Spectrum Internet. Visit Spectrum.com for details. Based on internet subscribers among top ISPs, speeds may vary. Restrictions apply.
Picture this. It's a crisp game day Saturday, and you wake up, grab your coffee mug, open the coffee, and the scoop hits the bottom of the bag. Oh, no! Running out of coffee is the worst, Ryan. So never go without coffee at home again with the Heine Brothers Coffee subscription. Head to HeineBrosCoffee.com, choose your favorite coffee, pick your delivery schedule, and you're done. Coffee's waiting at the front door just before you run out. Use code KSR at checkout, and you get half off your first Heine Brothers Coffee subscription.
Boone's Butcher Shop, 100 Old Bloomfield Pike, Bardstown, 1 block east of Town Square, is where they're happy to meet you. With over 15 meat bundles, pick 5 section, even roasting pigs. Check them out online at Boone'sButcherShop.com. The butcher that bleeds blue.
Welcome back, Kentucky Sports Radio, 502-571-1080. Apparently, Shannon, and I didn't know this, 2 hours before last call, by the way, I didn't know this because I wasn't out that late, it's $150 to get in the library.
My goodness.
Who are they catering to? I mean, do college kids have $100 just to go into a bar?
I guess they just think it's like rich college kids whose parents give them money, and then they're like, they don't care. You know, they'll just spend it.
Yeah.
And I guess they're like, well, we should take it off their hands. You know, a fool and his money are easily departed, whatever that slow. What's crazy is you could walk a block down the street and the bars were free and also packed with people.
That's just a hell of a business model that you can get people to pay $100 to walk in the door. And
That's a business I
special.
would like to own that business. I mean, that is a business that's insane.
Yeah.
And, you know, they have these other places that if you just look at them, Ryan, they look exactly the same. They're full of people, too. And so I was like, why would we pay to go in there?
Like, in theory, that should not work at all. There should be nobody in that bar.
Exactly. You would think simple economics, go to the ones where the people, where it's not 150. And, you know, I don't know anyone here. So, Shannon, it's not like there's people in there I'd rather see than the people in there.
Yeah. I'm sure there's just as good as people in the other bar as there is in the $100
they're all
one.
just people standing there.
Yeah.
Everybody at Ole Miss dresses exactly the same anyway.
Is it like sweater vest?
No, it's like the dudes all are wearing polo shirts and khaki shorts with a visor.
Yeah.
And the girls are all wearing like tight little sorority dresses. And then everybody else is just dads and moms in their Ole Miss gear. Like that's what everything is.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what's the difference? Max Duffy just walked in here. He paid it.
Oh, man.
Maybe he can maybe he can help explain why you pay to go. But he's Australian. He doesn't get out a lot. So, I mean, that's probably why he did it. 502-571-1080. One person writes, do you think, Matt, quarterbacks fumble more because they're not allowed to be hit during training because people don't want them to get hurt? What do you think, Ryan? You think that's plausible?
No.
You don't buy that? Hold the ball is just the same as anybody else.
I know we'd love to maybe give him that excuse, but no, that's not it. Because they're not getting hit during practice. No.
Well, I mean, you don't think
they're usually a standing target, and you're going to let a guy just come, 350-pound guy come and barrel you over.
I'm not saying you should let them, but do you think that practicing getting hit, like when Will is a runner like he was, do you think that getting hit, not being hit, like if I just all of a sudden took the ball and started running, I'm probably more likely to fumble than someone who's used to getting hit, right?
I'm not buying it. I mean, even like Chris Rodriguez, you could set him out all spring and not let him get hit, and he's still going to be running the football full speed and maybe fumble once in a while.
Yeah. One of the things that is interesting here, Shannon, is it did feel like to me the fans here, they were very nice. Probably the nicest road fans I've ever been around.
Yeah.
It also felt like to me they didn't care one way or the other whether they won.
No, they were just there to party, right?
No, I mean it. Like after the game, I want you to think about if we were them and we won a game like that, what Lexington would be like, right?
Yeah.
When I walked, because you can walk, the stadium's on campus. When I walked from the stadium to the building where I was doing the post-game show, it almost didn't look to me like the people knew a game had occurred. They were all just like still tailgating, eating, talking, laughing, but no one was celebrating. You know what I mean? It was almost like they were just like, well, I guess this week we won, hun. Let's, it just didn't seem like they cared.
All I ever hear about is the Grove, and I've never been there, like I said earlier, but it sounds like it's the greatest place on earth because it's all they want to talk about.
It is very cool because imagine that you had a big campus, and all through the campus, people are just tailgating and hanging out, and they have these elaborate tailgates with tablecloths and fresh cut flowers, and you're laughing. Yeah. Everyone has fresh cut flowers. Everyone. Some people have chandeliers.
Yeah.
If I can't eat it or I can't drink it, I don't want it at my tailgate party.
But the food's pretty good from what I've seen. I mean, it was like the one thing you can't do is grill.
You can't grill.
You can't grill. So I guess you have to bring the food pre-prepared, but there's no grilling.
It doesn't even sound like that's that great to me. If I go to a tailgate party, I want to grill. I don't need flowers.
Matt, you may have heard this. Dante said he heard when he was down there. Each spot is $1,500 a game. But they set up your tables, they set up your chairs, they bring your food.
If you pay for somebody to do it. So they open it up. They open it up at Melissa, what time do they open it up? Like 6 o'clock the night before? 7 p.m. the night before. And then you can claim your spot. Like, you don't get it reserved. You have to, claim it. But what they do is people hire companies to be waiting at 7 to run and take a spot and set it up for you.
For $1,500, I will save your spot. You can hire me right now.
But, Shannon, that's what college kids do. College kids make money by getting a trailer and setting people's spots up for them. Yeah. But at 7 o'clock, there's a mad dash to get the spot that you want. And there are people that pay companies to do the whole thing for them, so they just have to show up and then do it.
$1,500 to set up some tables and chairs. I think I could do that.
But
I'd drive down there and do it.
I think $1,500 sounds like a lot till you realize people pay $100 to walk into a bar.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt, man.
My mom had an interesting thought on that. She says, is it because they're trying to give the impression it's a private club just to keep kind of the riffraff out?
No, there was plenty of riffraff in there. Don't get me wrong.
Just rich.
I mean, there was a lot of riffraff. This was not like you walk in and it's like, hello, Max. Sterling, nice to meet you. It was riffraff. It was the same crowd you would see at Two Keys or Tin Roof. It's just it was in Oxford and they had paid $100 to walk in.
Gotcha.
Unbelievable.
Max was with the riffraff.
I need to hear from Max as to what was so great.
All right, well, Max, I'll just hand him the thing. I only got one thing, so I can't talk while he does. Explain why you did it.
Yeah, you got some splaining to do, Max. What was so great about this place that you spent $100 on it?
Look, here's the thing. This shows the age of all you guys on this radio show. That's the typical get off my lawn, old man type scenario that we're talking about right now. look, you go in, you want to have fun. Drew said it was the greatest place he'd ever been to. He's old too. I'm the only one who's not old here. I loved it. It was worth every single cent. You guys complaining and wanting to put your feet up and turn the heater on inside or something. I don't know what
But Max, what was so great about it that was different from the other bar right down the street that you could get in for free? What was different?
It's massive. And like 90% of the people in Oxford would have been in that bar. Like, it's not the same as all the other bars. All the other bars could fit maybe 50 people in. This one could fit about 5,000.
Okay, so just
did it have an open bar?
No, there was no open bar.
How much were the drinks?
They were reasonably priced once you got in there. They weren't bad.
Well, I hope so. My gosh, should have been on the house for that kind of price.
Yeah. No, we had a good time. I think it slowly gets more and more expensive as the day goes on. We walked in there at another time and it was free, but then as the night goes on, it gets more and more expensive.
Well, see, I would be that guy that would get there early, get in for free, and then just hang out all day.
Correct.
And then while all you other idiots are paying $100, I got in for free, 8 hours ago.
Lots of people go early in the day to get the wristband, and then they come back later at night.
That's the play right there.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Thank you, Max. I'm still not convinced that I would want to go.
First of all, it is bigger than the rest of them, but the place we were in Saturday was huge and was $10. So, I mean, I look, people could do whatever they want, but I don't understand the $100. I guess we're just old. Who's up next? We'll go quick.
Let's go to John.
John, I got 30 seconds. Go for it.
Well, I was just wondering, apparently you don't have, thought you might even lead it with the Stoops shot at Calipari, but I guess
that's
you're gonna
not
get to that.
true, John. You've got to not fall for internet fake things. You're talking about that quote that people said Stoops said about Cal.
Yeah.
That's fake, okay? You guys, I want to say to people, please don't just see a picture of a quote and assume it occurred. You guys fall for everything. They'll put a picture of Joe Biden and say, he said Russia is the best place on earth. Like, don't fall for things. Stoops did not say something bad about Cal. That was a fake thing that people fell for.
It sounded like it was out of his character. Okay, thank you.
Exactly. So don't assume it's correct. Just because somebody puts a picture up and puts words, that doesn't mean it's right. We'll take a break. Be right back. Hour number 2.
Join us Thursdays at 7:30 a.m. as we present Banking on Business, sponsored by the People's Bank. Banking on Business is an interview segment hosted by Terry Bunnell, People's Bank president. Enjoy meeting people from your favorite local businesses and hearing the stories of how they got started and where they're headed. You can check it out online at WCLUradio.com on EPB Channel 6, WCLU 103.1 and 1490 AM each Thursday morning at 7:30 a.m.
There's a few things you can always depend on when autumn rolls around. School buses on the road, cooler weather, crops being harvested, and best of all, Wright Implement's spectacular fall sales event. $250 off all in-stock 1 through 3 series tractors and $6,000 off on the 5090E tractor. And check out the scary good savings on John Deere commercial zero-turn mowers. Wright Implement. Online at wrightimp.com. Offer ends 10/28/22. Some restrictions apply. See us for details.
Paid for by Christian Care Ministry.
Let's see, if something costs less, but people are happier with it, that sounds like something to look into, and that's Medishare. Maybe you've heard switching to Medishare to pay for healthcare can save the typical family $500 a month. And that's huge, but it's also true that people are way more satisfied after making the switch, too. The customer satisfaction rate for Medishare is double that of the typical health insurance plan. Double. Medishare works. It's been around for more than a quarter century, and members have shared more than $3 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth and a huge nationwide PPO network. So, yeah, you can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care. So if you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan you're happy with, you can call right now and get a price within 2 minutes. A very, very smart use of 2 minutes. Here's the number you need. 844-53-BIBLE. That's 844-53-BIBLE. 844-53-BIBLE.
Paid for by Bar Justice. Attention. Have you or a loved one been diagnosed with cancer after using Zantac or other heartburn medications for several months? Zantac may be linked to these cancers: bladder, colorectal, esophageal, intestinal, kidney, liver, ovarian, pancreatic, stomach, testicular, and uterine. If you or a loved one have been diagnosed with cancer after using Zantac or other heartburn medications for several months, call now. Never stop taking medication without first first consulting a physician. Call right now for a free consultation. Call 800-379-9550. 800-379-9550.
Super easy streaming TV from SCRTC with MyStream TV. Fiber customers can search for SCRTC on a favorite device and download the MyStream TV app. Then call SCRTC to get signed up. Same great live TV service now streaming next to your favorite apps. No more boxes, no more wiring. With MyStream TV, watch up to 3 live streams at once, go back and catch up TV, and restart current TV from the beginning. Even works on your smartphone and tablets. So good news, SCRTC Fiber customers. You can start some super easy streaming TV by calling today.
This is your home for Glasgow's best variety. WCLU Glasgow. W276DO Glasgow. WCLU.
Indeed.com. I'm Steve Kathan. President Biden off to Puerto Rico to check on damage from Hurricane Fiona.
We've been trying like hell to catch up from the last hurricane.
And later this week, he'll go to Southwest Florida, where damage from Hurricane Ian is extensive and emotions are frayed.
I had a lot of wonderful memories with people I love, and I keep reminding myself these are all things.
The known death toll from the storm is 86. CBS's Chris Van Cleve is in Fort Myers.
When you think about rebuilding, best case scenario, you're taking it down to the studs, completely starting over. So this isn't a quick recovery. This is months or longer before they could be back in these homes. And then the other question is if the county will let them just renovate, and because these were the current building codes, you wouldn't build a home like this anymore.
Florida Emergency Management Director Kevin Guthrie knows for tens of thousands of people, the big issue is getting the power back.
That is a goal that they are trying to hit, to have all customers that can receive power by Sunday of this week. This does not include those areas catastrophically hit where there is absolutely no infrastructure, no homes, and so on.
With police in Stockton, California saying 5 fatal shootings since July could be the work of a serial killer, many residents are worried.
Who's doing the killing? And I just came out here to talk to my neighbors. They were discussing the problem. But everybody's staying in. I mean, there's a lot of children.
The victims have all been adult men. After reviewing surveillance footage, detectives have located and identified a person of interest. First day of its new term, the Supreme Court has agreed to hear a challenge to federal protections for internet and social media companies, freeing them of responsibility for content posted by users. And it declined to hear a challenge to a federal ban on gun bump stocks. CBS's Matt Piper has more on what's ahead for the court.
It's day one for new Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson. The first black woman to serve on the court went right in on the case at hand about a couple in Idaho who wanted to build on wetlands.
Isn't the issue what Congress would have intended?
This term is expected to bring another round of decisions on hot-button, ideologically charged issues like LGBTQ plus discrimination, voting rights, and affirmative action. Already on the docket is a challenge to race-conscious admissions policies at selective universities.
The Securities and Exchange Commission's been keeping up with Kim Kardashian. It says she will pay $1.26 million to settle charges she promoted a cryptocurrency on Instagram without disclosing she'd been paid big for it. The Dow's up more than 600 points. This is CBS News.
You need to hire? Indeed is with you every step of the way, helping you attract, interview, and hire candidates all from one place. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Lockheed Martin understands what it takes to accomplish critical missions around the globe. They know it begins with long-standing partnerships rooted in expertise, interoperability, and trust. The most critical missions call for the F-35. It is essential to Allied air power. Across the growing community of F-35 nations, the need for alliance-based deterrence against evolving threats is stronger than ever. Lockheed Martin, your mission is ours.
This military moment is sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts. Iraq War vet Brandon Aronson started Paint Your Heroes, a project that honors service members who are no longer with us. Aronson's company, Paint True, delivers custom portraits to military families.
I feel like the entire nation is sort of reeling from collective trauma. That made us want to do something big. We're a very small organization, but you have to dream big.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
A woman who had an unexpected Hollywood moment has died.
50 years ago, she was booed when she famously declined Marlon Brando's Oscar.
The reasons for this being are the treatment of American Indians today by the film industry.
Dasheen Littlefeather has died. The Academy Awards apologized to the 75-year-old Native American actress publicly just weeks ago. She told The Hollywood Reporter she was stunned when it came. Littlefeather, who was Apache and Yaqui, appeared in several movies in the 1970s, including The Trial of Billy Jack. Her family says she was battling stage 4 breast cancer. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
The owner of a famed Hollywood celebrity haunt has died. The LA Times says Sylvia Wu, who ran Madame Wu's Garden, was 106 years old. She opened the Chinese place on Wilshire Boulevard in Santa Monica in 1959. It closed in 1998. Steve Kathan, CBS News.
At school boards across America, parents are fighting back against a woke agenda that puts our kids at risk. Now, Sean Spicer is on Newsmax, exposing the radical agenda in our schools. And he shows how a grassroots revolt is underway to stop it. Watch Sean Spicer and Lindsay Keith today on Spicer & Company. Find out why millions have made the switch to Newsmax. Tune into Sean Spicer and watch parents fight back on Newsmax. Make the switch to Newsmax today.
Are you more than $10,000 in debt? Feel like you're on a never-ending treadmill, staying in one place and never getting ahead with those minimum payments? You feel like there's no way out? Get off the endless debt treadmill and start saving money each month. There are programs in place to help you get free of your debt, and you don't have to pay the entire amount you owe. The program at Total Financial Freedom can help you get debt-free in months instead of decades. Call Total Financial now at 800-208-1312. 800-208-1312.
1490 WCLU is proud to bring Southern Kentucky the Big Blue Nation. It's the Kentucky Sports Radio Show with your host, Matt Jones.
Welcome to Hour 2 of Kentucky Sports Radio, presented by Stockton Mortgage. Now, here's Matt Jones.
Welcome back. Hour number 2, Kentucky Sports Radio, 502-571-1080. Text machine, 772-774-5254. One person writes, Matt, by charging a $100 entry fee, the bar tries to make itself elite. This drives ignorant people to the bar because they fall for it. If they raise the price to $500, they'd probably get even more idiots to come in.
What are they saying about Drew and Max?
Max said they're trying to keep people like that guy out of the.
I didn't know Max was such an elitist.
Well, he's got as the person said on the text machine, he's got that Pittsburgh Maulers money. So he just wants to throw it around everywhere and just show everybody what's going on. And so listen, I understand. My only thing was this. Like, if every bar charged $100, Shannon, I'd get it. Mm-hmm. But there was a bar down the street that was $10. And it looked exactly the same to me.
And that's the question I was asking Max when you were off headsets. I said, what's so great about the other one? He said, it's just bigger. Well, so what?
Yeah, but you can only be in one place in a moment. Like, I can't be in every room, right? You know. Yeah. But again, if people want to pay it, let them pay it. I'd like to own that place. Let's just say that. Me because too. It clearly is raking in money by the hundreds. I do want to say I probably got a little I was not frustrated with that guy that said that about the quote, but I get frustrated, so I may have jumped on him a little hard. I didn't mean to. I'm sure you're a wonderful guy, but I don't. Good for you. Well, I am. I mean, I didn't mean to, because he just asked a question, and it's a reason. But people fall so quickly now for anything they see on the internet. Anything. Now, I mean, like a major news site, if they have a story that's false, they deserve to be criticized, and that happens. But, like, we're to the point that people will just see anything on the internet and go, well, that's. The quote, Ryan, was something like, Mark Stoops saying, yeah, we lost today, but at least we didn't lose to St. Peter's in the first round of the NCAA.
No, yeah. Why would you believe that he would even say that? Like, it doesn't even sound like something that would even be believable.
Can you imagine anyone saying that in the context? But I saw it on Facebook, and it was being shared, and people were going, this is a low blow by Stoops. And I wanted to comment on everyone's thing and go, what really?
You can't save people from themselves. You know, you just got to let them.
I know,
let them believe
but
it.
I didn't. But I mean, he sounded like a nice man, so I'm not. But it's just a general thing. I think part of the thing that drives me nuts right now about politics, it's so nasty. Somebody was asking me at the bar Saturday night, the one I didn't pay $100 for. This kid, and he was like, "I hope you run for Senate sometime." And I'm like, "Yeah, it's just never going to happen now." I mean, I've really thought about it, but it's too nasty. Who wants to do that? And part of it is because people will just write something and then everybody, Ryan, goes, well, I can't believe Mark Stoops said that. I can't believe Donald Trump said that. I can't believe Joe Biden said that. I mean, although with Trump, Shannon, it can be hard to know what's real and what's not.
Right.
He might say something just as crazy. But, you know, Ryan, yes, go ahead.
I was going to ask you, can I ask you about one more quote while we're talking about these quotes?
Yeah, of course.
What about what Lane Kiffin said after the game, his post-game interview about our offensive coordinator said Levis loves blitzes.
Yeah, I mean,
bring it on, we'll light you up.
It didn't bother me that he said that. First of all, it did not bother me that our offensive coordinator said, I hope they keep blitzing, we'll light it up. I want my coaches to have that confidence.
Yes.
But if my coaches have that confidence and they say that stuff, then you can't get upset when the Ole Miss coach goes, that motivated us, right? Like you can't do it. So I'm fine with Scangarello saying that. And I'm also fine with Lane kind of throwing it back in his face after the game, Ryan. That's part of it, isn't it?
See, I didn't know what angle you would take. I'm with you. I don't think I have a problem with it. Kiffin, like, chirping back a little bit and admitting it motivated us all week.
It should have. I did not. You know, my view is you can talk if you can back it up, right? Scangarello talked. We kind of backed it up, kind of didn't. They got to our quarterback not as much as maybe I thought they would, but they did get to it some. And when they win the game, I mean, we can't get mad at him saying something like, you know, we were ready knowing that might be the number one pick, kind of sarcastically, because we did the same thing to Anthony Richardson, right? So, like,
that's true.
We can't get upset if they're going to be doing what we are, and that's football now, and I'm actually, Ryan, totally okay with it.
Now I hope somebody from South Carolina says something to get Stoops a reason to get his guys up and going for this weekend. Anything. Say something.
What did you think, though, Shannon, about the Ole Miss football Twitter account tagging the UK, or trying to tag the UK football account and saying, after this game, do you all recognize this? And it was a basketball.
I saw that. I saw it. Ole Miss
I'm fine
Twitter
with
account.
it, I guess. I'm good with the trash talk. I mean, I think it keeps it fun.
I'm good with the trash talk, but you know what? That's why that Calipari comment made them so mad.
Mm-hmm. We'll get them in basketball.
Program, because you gave schools like Ole Miss a chance to make fun of you.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, that's why, if you want to know why Cal's comment bothered the football program so much, it's because it leads to things like that Ole Miss Twitter account. Ryan, don't you agree? Like, that's what bothers them about it.
Of course it does, yes. And this is just going to happen all year long from other schools. I told you we were down in Florida for the Florida game. We're walking in, we're like, why are you guys even here? You're a basketball school.
Exactly. That's going to keep happening. What did you think about the frat guy fight in the stands?
That was a good one. I got to admit, that was a good little fight up there. It was like on the top row, wasn't it? It looked like it was.
I think they were fighting over who got to pay $100 to go to library. But they were getting into it all in there. It's so funny to see dudes like in their little navy jackets, khaki pants, frat look, fighting each other.
They got their little jackets on, little handkerchief hanging out of their pocket. I mean, this is incredible.
They went at it, though, Ryan.
Yes,
I mean,
they did.
That was quite a Where is security, by the way? Like, it's nowhere to be seen at any point during any of that.
Yeah, it's going on for, it looks like, a couple minutes before the security guys finally waited up. Because, like I said, it looked like he was up at the top, so they had a long way to get up there to break that up.
It's a huge dork fight is what it is.
Yeah, it's definitely it's a big dork fight. A lot of hair flying around, a lot of it was
a lot
great,
of drunk men swinging punches.
I kind of love it, to be honest with you.
I did too. I thought it was very good. Did you see the story, Shannon, about the prison escape? Have you seen this?
No. Where's this?
Okay, so now again, after just saying we got to be careful what we believe, I saw this on Twitter, and let me just say, I'm believing it. It might not be true, okay? But I'm going to assume it is because this account that posted it looks to be like an author or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, would you like for me to read it?
Yes, let's
now,
hear
granted, I'm just telling you what I'm reading, not saying it's true, but I like to think it is because it's a great story. For 6 months, a tiny brunette known to her instructors as Lena had been taking helicopter flying lessons. In reality, her name was Nadine, 34 years old, and wife of one of France's most carefully guarded prisoners. At 10:45 on Monday morning, Nadine flew a rented chopper to Paris's Santé prison, dropped a rope onto the roof, and picked up her husband, Michael, who had 28 years left to serve for attempted murder and armed robbery. In the confusion, another inmate was left behind. Minutes later, the helicopter landed in a nearby soccer field, and Lena and Michael jumped out into a car and have disappeared and have yet to be found.
Wow. That is
So she flew a helicopter over a prison with a rope.
Yeah.
And he grabbed it, climbed up, and they were gone and have yet to be seen. So he escaped from a prison in the center of Paris.
So I'm assuming he was on the roof. I'm wondering if he's out there with other guards at that time, because did he just sneak up to the roof? Or I got so many questions about this.
Me too, because you got to think the helicopter couldn't sneak up on anybody. It's pretty loud, making a noise coming in there.
And how did he get on the roof is what I want to know.
Don't you want to see a documentary about that?
Yeah, make that Netflix. I'll watch that.
Exactly. Maybe we don't need any more Dahmer stuff.
Yeah.
More about, have you finished the Dahmer thing, Shannon?
I haven't. No, I was a little busy. But, I'm definitely going to at some point. But I want to see more about this story. Now I'm going to go down this rabbit hole after the show and see what else I can find out about this story.
Yeah, that's right. It's, wait a minute. This happened in 1986.
Well, hey, we're reporting on it 40 years later.
Still, it's awesome, though, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think probably more awesome back in 1986.
But I would say, Shannon, that means they should have already made the documentary, don't you?
And what happened?
40 years.
Are they still on the loose?
Well, now I feel like there's got to be enough time that this story has been researched, right?
Yeah. Now this person's probably 80 years old at this point.
So, look, breaking news in 1986.
What a great story.
At least now I know it was true. It just was true 40 years ago.
Yeah.
There you go. In 2018, it happened again in 2018. Of different prison, different people.
You would think they would.
Well, you would think they would have figured out how to fix it by then.
Yeah, same thing.
Now I definitely need a Netflix documentary. All right, who's next?
Let's go to Mike.
Mike. We should just report news from 1986 like it's now. Bill Buckner has just let a ground ball go through his legs. I think that was 1986, wasn't it?
I think it was 1986.
I think it was
I'm
1986.
Some 1986 stories.
What else can you think of that happened in 1986?
I was 3, so I don't really remember a whole lot.
It's all going to be sports for me.
Yeah.
I believe that's when University of Louisville won.
I know what 1986 was. Yes, I do think Louisville won in 80. Yeah, they did win in 86.
Yeah.
That was the year Greg Norman led every major going into the final round, but only won one of them.
Oh.
He led all 4 majors going in the 4th round. He won, but the only one he won was the British. Bob Tway holed out from the bunker to win the PGA. Nicklaus won the Masters. That's right. When Nicklaus won when he was old, was it the Masters?
Yeah. That was all in 86.
I'm trying to think if there's anything I know besides
the Challenger.
sports.
Was that 86?
Challenger, I think, was 86.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I think it was like January, February 87. It was like just.
No, I think it's 86, isn't it? I think you're right.
No, you're right. It was 86. You're right. It was January, February 86.
Listen to Scoop thinking he can out-scoop you, Shannon.
I've got some more breaking news. There's a brand new talk show called The Oprah Winfrey Show that just debuted.
I bet she's going to be good.
I think
that Oprah Winfrey has a chance to have a career.
Yeah, her future's
if everything
bright.
works out. That's right. Who's up next?
Have we talked to Mike already?
I don't think so. Mike, go ahead.
Hey guys, I just wanted to comment. How many more times does Will Levis got to get smacked in the face or a helmet? It's happened twice now. They got laid out against Florida, twice, and now the other day. And then the other thing is Max still there with you guys?
Yeah, he's sitting right here. Yes.
Well, I was just curious about this kicking stuff. Like,
well, I'll hand it to him. I mean, that's 2 questions about it. Yeah. So Max, the question. Go ahead, sir.
I was just going to ask, how are kickers and punters? How are those guys recruited? Like, do you have the teams have a kicking and consultant that says, "Hey, this guy's good," or I mean, it's kind of obvious.
I can answer that question. I can answer that question. I mean, I appreciate the call. There's the getting Australians, which basically I've learned through Max goes through an Australian company that essentially pairs people like Max with schools. So basically they kind of say, we can get you basically Australian football players sign up for this academy, and then they're guaranteed a school in America, and they get paired with them. That's Max ended up paired at Kentucky. As far as our kickers, Ryan, I mean, I think they recruit them and see what happens. Didn't necessarily work out with Chance Poore, which is how Matt Ruffalo has ended up as the kicker.
Yeah, and it seems like, most coaches have a pretty short leash with punters and kickers. They mess up 1 or 2 times, they're done. Then they'll bring in the next guy. So
doesn't it feel like to you with kickers, the amount of attention or whatever that is given, scholarships, etc., is disproportionately low to how important they are?
Oh, no doubt. A lot of times the game comes down to a guy making a kick, and he's the lowest man on the totem pole most of the time.
Yeah, I've always felt like schools treat kickers as like afterthoughts, and then your whole game, your whole season can come down to them. I mean, Austin McGinnis, Mark Stoops isn't even here if Austin McGinnis doesn't make that kick, and yet they almost sort of treat them like, well, we'll find one somewhere, And
you can throw long snappers and holders in the same category. Most time you never know anything about them, but they're so crucial to that process.
Can you imagine any other position where they would say, well, we're good, we'll find somebody on campus, we'll find a walk-on.
Find somebody at a frat party.
But they do that with kickers. And
Yeah.
it's just, it's absolutely unbelievable. Tell you what else is unbelievable: court physical therapy. Because if you have aches, pains, or an injury, it won't slow you down due to Court's physical therapists. 75 locations around Kentuckiana. They have experts that will make you feel good and get back to where you want to be. It's Court.com. That's KORT.com.